Don't keep looking at me like you want me to host. He can host. He got the Target shirt on.
Oh, are we
So
going?
what you're doing right now is talking while he's recording.
Oh.
So that's what you did. It's fine. We're gonna leave this. So I'm Tony Melbourne, the host with the most, and this is fucking Conscious Reconstruction, and you just heard Ash over here just talking shit, talking about how she don't want to
stared
host.
straight into my soul.
And because I was getting ready. That's how I get my focus, getting ready to get on the mic. I didn't say anything to you, did I?
Definitely just read my whole past lives.
didn't.
That's how you focus?
I was just trying to, me, I be
You
on
look
the phone.
into someone. You do.
You know.
You do.
Yeah,
you
I just be
You just
staring off into
stare?
space. That's
do.
my
But
thing.
do we just stare
I
at
can
you
vouch.
like that?
I
Like,
can vouch.
Yeah, that's my thing.
I
Like,
can
I
vouch.
stare and get in my zone. And then boom, I go. I'm not looking at you. But we spent like a minute on the mic, maybe 30 seconds just talking about bullshit. And so I guess I can introduce the rest of the people. Y'all heard Jones. There's Alicia.
do I have
Big
to have
dog.
a cool like personality name? Because today I'm choosing Zero.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Zero is here. Because there is
All right.
no cool.
Zero cool. Zero Z. I choose that one. I choose you.
Shit, yeah.
Zero.
I said we gonna.
We can pull it out. It's fine. Just do it while we
whip
do
it out.
Yeah.
Out the bag.
Out the bag. You can't have anything out the bag.
You can't have that thing out the bag.
But we haven't even introed the show. We're going to talk about some crazy shit today. So I made everybody watch the R. Kelly series. Except for Alicia, who watched it twice. And Ashley, who didn't watch it at all.
How did you know?
Swear.
How you didn't know? We sent you the message.
Oh, man. I really wanted to.
Fuck R. Kelly.
It don't sound like you wanted to.
I was asleep. I was asleep. I just started that new job. And, like, I have to work overnight. So
Perfect time to watch it.
I was watching Daredevil season
See,
3.
look at that. See?
I
So
forgot.
you just coming to the show unprepared. It's
I was
crazy.
starting.
It's
Listen,
crazy. We
I
don't even
had
fuck with you like
allegiance
that.
to
It's crazy.
Daredevil.
Dang.
But
That sounds like all these pleas that you was copying.
what?
Where you get all these pleas from?
Listen, I have an allegiance
I was
to
saying
Daredevil.
that was the
first.
part you should have left.
You
out.
copping all the pleas. It's crazy. All these excuses.
Don't fire me, please.
That's crazy.
I'm really dedicated
She's
to
like,
this
"Don't fire
job.
me, I need this."
Crazy. Oh, and that's even crazier. This is a crazy episode right
know what?
here. Like, we got a member that ain't
My guy
even here.
that uses this told me that this was charged.
Oh, and we got some people who being fraudulent out here, lying about
Totally
charge
literally.
cameras and shit.
You gotta be
How you,
optimistic.
how you
And I
use somebody
didn't look
else's
at it
camera
myself.
and then don't charge it?
You gotta be optimistic. Man.
That's not being
This is a start to a great show.
This is one for the road. This is a show for the
Definitely,
road.
right?
That's all.
Yeah.
Actually, for the road.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not for the views. It's for the road
It's for the
and for the host. not the host.
All right, you know.
Craziness.
Anywho, what's our first topic?
I mean, what do you want to talk about, Ash, since you didn't watch R. Kelly? 'Cause I want to talk about R. Kelly. That was going to be my first
I
topic.
tried to get it up off of you, Ash. Sorry.
Thank you.
I mean zero.
Could you not?
Because we can talk about R. Kelly.
You guys can, and I can chime in every once in a while. You know what
I
I'm
mean, you're
saying?
going to be
This
like
is just
how you were at the
definitely-
last episode where you were a Trump supporter?
Oh,
Oh, here we go.
Right. Like, oh,
You going to defend R. Kelly?
I'm not going to defend R. Kelly.
I was gonna have real big beef with you if he was gonna defend.
Like we
R.
fighting.
See, and that's what I
I have
wanted to see. I was like, I wonder what her
I was gonna
opinion
have
will be.
real
She's probably going to defend him.
defend him.
She defended Trump.
How many of us feel bad for R. Kelly?
I will say this.
Zero race her hand.
Sips.
I don't feel bad for R. Kelly in the sense that this dumb shit that he brought up on himself. I feel bad for the shit that he had to deal with in his youth. But outside of that, like, there's no remorse.
Same.
Yeah, like that's where my feelings come for that whole situation. Outside of that, like everything else he brought up on himself, he did himself.
Definitely.
That's how I feel
Because he
about
could
it.
have went a different path,
Yeah, like
just like his brother.
yeah, like the shit that happened in his youth, yeah, that's not your fault. You had no control over that. And like that's unfortunately something that happens a lot in families and whatnot, and it's a terrible thing. But afterwards, once you were grown and you were out of that situation, at that point, it's all on you.
And he still continues to do it though. Mm-hmm. And he knows what he's doing is wrong, which is why he goes through all of these tricks and maneuvers to try to make it seem like it ain't shit when you got a whole house full of women not locked in the house. They can leave, but you brainwash them so much that they fucked up in the head.
They feel like they can't live without you.
Feel like, they feel like they can't leave and they can't live without you. Exactly what you said. So.
Yeah. So
how y'all feel about the people that was just around him that just kept
Fuck
saying,
them.
"Oh, we couldn't allow this," but continued to work with him like every step of the way?
That was some bullshit. Because now y'all want to say something now,
like
when y'all seen it happening though.
Right? Yeah. Like y'all just like realistically, y'all did it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
We know you did it for the money. That's the only thing that kept you quiet about it. But it doesn't excuse you. You were part of all this.
That's why I think they're speaking out now, because they just said like he lost that house, and which means it's probably people that are off of his payroll now.
Yeah.
And now people are starting to talk more because they're not getting paid.
Right.
That's a damn shame, though.
Yeah, it really is.
Women, like that's crazy.
That whole situation is just crazy. Like all them dudes, like y'all trash for that for real, cause like y'all coming out and speaking about it now, it doesn't negate the situation. I mean, I guess if it helps you feel better, fine. But like, it doesn't. It just shows how much. It just shows your character as a person in general.
Agreed.
Like, no, you weren't the person doing the actions, but you were contributing to it because you were allowing it to go on. You were turning your back to the situation, even though you know the situation is really fucked up. And then in some cases, y'all were even helping with the situation. Like you would be the one pushing people away, directing people away, guarding, or being like, I guess, guards for the women when they were out and about, making sure they don't do this, making sure they don't do that, make sure they do.
Keeping them away from their family, not letting them talk to their family when their family is calling.
Right, like just giving excuses of why they can't come to the phone or anything of the sort. So. Like, y'all trash too equally.
Agreed.
In my mind.
I think it's crazy how people would just like Sparkle.
Bro.
He tried it with you. You said, "No, I'm not going."
Bro.
And then you bring your niece around.
Bro, and I think she's still there. I think that's the one that was talking about, the trainer that trained the girls.
She is,
pretty sure
because
that's her.
she around the family.
And you've been there since you was what, 12?
Right, and like her family, like he, like
her family is all intertwined with them.
Yeah, like her
She's
father.
in pictures with him right now, like to this day.
Her father was like a guitar player or something.
Yeah,
bass,
and on all of his like.
And they trash as fuck because they just getting money.
Right.
Knowing that was a girl in that video, why they was denying that wasn't their daughter. That's crazy. It's crazy.
That whole situation is fucked up.
That's what this whole thing
it's all about money.
Is like.
It's all about money.
Y'all were like, R. Kelly is getting us to the bag, so we gonna get to this bag, and whatever else he doing, we not really worried about that. But my thing is, if he getting 5 or 6 chicks brought to him, and you the dude that's going around and picking out the chicks for him, he like, hey, I want these group of bunches. So I'ma just speak for me, and like how I know males operate. If I'm the nigga with the sauce, and I'm telling my dudes to go get some chicks, if there's like 5 or 6, maybe I take 3 of them with me. My homies is fucking the other ones. So these niggas was fucking these young chicks too.
Right. It's not like he was the only
how
one
the
doing
security guard go to the chick in the mall, 17, like, hey, R. Kelly wanted to talk to you. My nigga. You could have been like, nah, she didn't even want the number, or been like, or you could have just not gave it to her, and said you did.
Yep. And she never called.
And it's fine. And she never called.
But then what about the brother that's in jail? He was pissing me off.
Wild.
And I think he was getting raped too.
I
just don't think he wanted to admit it.
So from what I know is
it was the sister.
I think all the brothers were molested by the sister.
Yeah.
Is from what the story is.
Right.
I don't think he really wanted to talk about it much.
No, but he
like his whole thing. I don't really know, like what he was saying and the way he was acting. It was trash. But I believe the reason he was acting that way and not trying to cancel his actions or anything of the sort But I feel like he's being protective over his brother. Realistically, that's what it seemed like to me. Because, like, he's an older brother. I'm the oldest in my family. I can't excuse your bullshit. But at the same time, that's what I felt like he was trying to do.
I can see it, but at the same time, there's right and there's wrong.
Yeah. Like I understand that completely.
I get what you're saying too, though. But it's just right and it's wrong. And it's no way you can be like, well, maybe he just has a preference. I like older women. He likes younger women. Like, there's no dislike younger.
You can't be like, younger girls is my preference.
No.
What is your preference about younger women? Like, what do y'all have in common? What y'all talking about? What she have for lunch? Like the picture she colors? Like, what's up with you?
Right, and these are what the youngest girl he came across was 14? 12 when he met her, 14 when he actually like started like being around her and whatnot. So this is girls ranging from the age of 14 to 17 to mass the majority of them. And then there were a couple that were older. Like, it was like 2 in their 30s.
Right, but that's probably what it is, though, is they're so young. They don't have no sense of identity and no sense of self. You're just everything I need you to be right now.
They were all, and that's true, because they were all either trying to be singers or dancers or all in the industry.
Yeah, he was taking advantage of the situation. Yeah. And then, like, he got him in the situation, then he started being main provider. Make it so you don't have to, like, want or need for anything. But at the same time, you can't get anything unless you go through him.
So, I feel like, I don't know. Did y'all see the ex-wife's comments online?
No.
So, she has a couple videos where one is she's in the car with some dude and she's singing R. Kelly's music and talking about, y'all know who that is, that's my baby daddy, and being like amped about it and his music. And then another video that just came out recently talking about, so now there's Robert and then there's R. Kelly. We need to separate the man from the music. No. And he was a good provider and all this other stuff. But now you're talking about, getting no child support. So you either going to talk about he's grinding and hustling for money or he don't. I don't understand. Well, so that shit's confusing.
Here's my situation with that whole thing. Of course the man's a fucking great provider. Nigga has money for days. He provided for everybody that was ever in the house. Like, he provided for all the women. So that's not like, that's trash. And that's another thing I noticed while watching this. Like, a lot of women were like, there's R. Kelly and then there's Robert. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, I understood what they meant by that.
Yeah, like, I get what they're saying by that. Like, but R. Kelly was just a front for what, like, that was like his...
That was his
personality. That was his. That's what he showed to the world. Yeah. And Robert was who he really was. But like, it's crazy that y'all all say this. And it's like, y'all. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to get out what I'm trying to say for real.
It's, you are fascinated by the fact that they separate the person that showed them pleasure, happiness, and a lifestyle and a world that they weren't used to, and then the person that brought them misery.
Right. It's like, it's almost like y'all are trying to separate him into two different
it's
people.
how they cope with it.
Yeah, like, y'all separating him into two different people like he's two different people. No, he's one whole person. He's one man. And yeah, you fell in love with the public figure, but realistically, the public figure isn't him. It all comes back to, like, the real him. It's like talking to anybody. Yeah, you see what you see when you first meet them because, I mean, they're putting out, showing out or whatever, but you don't really truly know that person until you're really around them in their everyday life and things of the sort. And y'all fell in love with the outside, so y'all tried to separate that to make the situation okay in your mind, and realistically, that's not a thing. You can't separate that because he's not doing that. What you want is not what he's doing. It's just, it's crazy when there's situations like that.
I'm going to play devil's advocate real quick.
You said what?
I'm going to play devil's advocate only because I thought about this personal question myself. Like, if I had, like, if it was an opportunity, not an opportunity like I'm seeking something out, but, like, if there's a situation where my daughter is 14 or 15 and I don't know who she's going to be around, that's her senior, that's just R. Kelly or whatever, and I'm trying to pull her away from this man or trying to get her to come to her senses, but she still wanted to participate. But what would y'all say about that if these young women were willingly, like,
That's the thing, like,
because it's. I mean, how many people came out during the documentary? How many like accounts was it? How many in the documentary?
I think it was. I want to say somewhere between 6 and 9. I know it was more than 6. It was like 6 or 9.
So I'll talk about the people that were actually there. After Aaliyah, it was the Hispanic girl.
Yeah.
They're all
then
brainwashed.
After her, it went to.
I think it was Lisa Van Allen.
Yeah, Lisa Van Allen.
Chick.
Light skinned girl.
Yeah.
Then the last two was Dominique and Azalea, and there's Jocelyn. Well, I'm only talking about people who testified.
Right.
So Dominique was, her mother was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Azalea's family is there. Sister is there. So probably like 10 testimonies.
Older lady.
2 older ladies. So that's 6 right
and
there.
Like, here's the crazy thing about that.
I would blame.
Right?
I'll blame the older women. If we're gonna place any like type of like duality blame, the older fans that know and was just ignoring it. But you would, when you were 16, might have wanted to do a lot of things, and you might have had an artist drop you a number and probably would have pursued it.
Right.
But you a child and he an adult, so regardless of what you doing, he should know better.
Right.
And so you gonna do what you doing because you a child.
True.
And so that's how I look at it. It's like, once there's another adult in the situation, that adult needs to take responsibility like an adult. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're a child and you kill somebody, you kind of got to take responsibility for that because that was you and your decision. You made it. You decided to do that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But if someone like eggs you on to go kill or tries to get you into a gang, they're also culpable. So I feel like it's just standing in the same sentence where this nigga's definitely culpable for manipulating young girls.
True.
The perfect example is that the girl from the trials and everything. Like, she was, when she started talking to him, she said she was, 19? Mm-hmm. And then he had her come over and, like, catwalk.
Well, no, that technically what happened is she started going there when she was 14.
Oh, no, I'm saying she told him she was 19.
But not even in the beginning. When she was just 14 with all the other young girls,
mm-hmm.
they were just outside talking to him. And then as the trial was being dragged on 2 years later, she finally got that invite. And then told him that when she got the invite, told him she was 19. But he ain't even asked for real.
Okay, yeah, I must have missed that part then. But, yeah, like, she was, 16 at that point?
Yeah, then that's when she was 16.
Yeah. So
she started out at 14 just skipping school.
She told him she was 19. And then he started to pursue sexual acts. She was like, oh, I'm 16. And she pulled her ID and showed it to him. And he's like, what that mean?
I was about to say, he don't care.
He was like, he didn't care. And
this
like,
is the one that was going to his trials, right?
Yeah. And like, and that was like, the reason I bring that up is she's young. Mm-hmm. You're like an idol to her. Mm-hmm. She's going to do whatever she can to make you happy. But at the same time, you're a fucking adult. You know that's not a situation. That's not something you're supposed to do.
Right.
So, like, even, like, I heard things like, oh, there's one thing I was listening to, is like, oh, it was her fault because she put herself in that situation, this, and that. Okay, yeah, up to that point, it might have been her fault. Or, sure, it's her fault. But once you got to the point in which sexual everything was, even before that, once she told you how old she was and you looked at her ID, that should have been the point in which you were like, no. Right. At that point, if all responsibility falls on you. Because you're the adult in the situation. You're not. No. Just no. Like, you're not. It's not her fault anymore. It's your fault. Because at that point, you're taking advantage of the situation at hand to get what you want.
It's funny that you asked, because I was going to ask that same question. I was like, well, do y'all think that there's any responsibility on, like, the victims or anything? Because I was listening to some shows. And not
a lot of people try to place the responsibility on the victims, and it's really odd.
Yeah, that shit is so crazy.
Like,
that shit
blew me. I just seen somebody write on Facebook like, "These are fast ass girls. They 12, 13, 14 with a dream to sing, and this is R. Kelly."
Yeah, like
how's that? How can you put that blame on them? They thought they was about to get a career.
Right.
They thought they was going to be big as R. Kelly. Yeah. Literally. Like,
and if you think about it, back in the 90s when it took so long to record, they were probably actually recording stuff. It just probably never came out.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
So he was probably really selling them the dream. They was always in the studio, so it's nothing to throw on the beat and be like, all right, go ahead, say some stuff, and then just not put it out.
Right. And after a while, he done flipped the script on them. Like, I don't understand how somebody could want to place blame on those kids after watching that.
Like the crazy, like
I don't understand Sparkle though.
Sparkle, I still can't. I don't understand why
she saw
Sparkle
the wife locked in the room.
Sparkle was the one that suspected me in the whole situation. Because like Sparkle knew.
I feel like Sparkle felt like she was as big and as bad as R. Kelly because she was able to tell him no.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that if she was around, she was going to be able to stop whatever he was doing. But you saw him have his wife knocking on the door repeatedly. Mm-hmm. He keeps his wife locked in her room.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that.
Yeah, so she had to knock.
She had to knock for food.
Yeah,
to get food,
anything,
like,
pretty much.
That's insane. This shit is insanity. Like, damn.
Right. Well, like, with the whole situation with Sparkle, like, like you said, I felt like she thought it was fine as long as she was around or someone was there. But when it came to the situation where you walked in and you saw your niece there and there was no one else, you didn't even know she was there. That should have been it right there. And I'm not to say it wasn't, because like her parents are still intertwined with R. Kelly and whatnot. So even if she did try to pull away or anything of the sort, it became out of her control.
And that's my thing. It's like you thought you were bad enough to control someone around a monster, but you brought something that you couldn't control around a monster because that's not your child.
Right.
So you don't realistically have any like say so. You don't have any leverage in this situation. So all you did was dangle a piece of candy in front of a predator and then let him take it.
Pretty much.
And then now you upset about it, which I get, and you want like to speak out, which is cool, but you fucked up for real. Like, I can't fuck with you. I can't really rock with you. Like,
right.
You're not a victim, and so I don't really got no sympathy for you because I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to feel like fuck Sparkle too, and I don't know if that's wrong, but that's how I feel about that. Because, like, how you bring your niece around it after seeing abuse. How you see abuse and be like, you know what, I'm going to bring my homie around an abuser. That's like, it's like one of y'all having a homegirl that is y'all, like, best friend. Y'all know a nigga be beating on his women. Be like, you know what, I'm going to introduce my best friend to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Like, how does that go? How do you do that?
Right.
That's just crazy. So, no, I don't care rock with her.
Nah. Like I said, Sparkle was, like, the most suspect in the situation. And it might have been just because she wasn't, like, a direct victim. And it was, like, her whole situation that was linking this. Also, like, her family, like, she spoke out, like, her family stopped talking to her and all that whatnot. And when I'm pretty sure I have it right, but correct me if I'm wrong, like, when they went to trial and everything, it was, like, she didn't know that her family was going to deny everything and turn it down and act like it wasn't her.
Their daughter on the tape.
Right.
That's crazy.
But it's like,
I think my thing is like, because I heard a perspective that might make sense where it's like maybe the family wanted to deny it completely to protect the daughter and be like, that's not her. We don't know who that is.
Right.
I know, but and see, my issue with that is you can't be around them then. Like, you got to get her all the way out of there. Like, if you like, no, that ain't it, then they can't be it none of the way.
But y'all kept her around.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't really understand.
At the same time, y'all also X'd out the person in the family that
said something about it.
Yeah, that said something about it. So
they know what they were doing.
So
all those
what happened?
Cases,
what was the parents saying about their children being around in those environments?
Well, a lot of the women, like a lot of them, didn't really account for the parents in a sense.
They never. So no one spoke to the parents. They just
It's not like they didn't speak to parents.
What happened is, what's her name? I can't remember the Puerto Rican girl's name. Lizette, there you go. Mm-hmm. So Lizette was 16. Mm-hmm. She was at the mall. He gave her his number. She called him, and they were in communication. And she just didn't tell her mother that they were in communication.
Mm-hmm.
But your daughter just gone.
But
No, she wasn't just gone there. And
but she had to be away from her parents a certain amount of time for them to notice, right?
Oh, she left like when she was like 17 and went with him, but she went to go pursue music. Mm-hmm. That was what she was saying, and so they thought that this was cool because this is all before the sex tape.
Any of that?
Yeah, this is all before sex tape. Mm-hmm.
But nobody else, no other parents was like, hey, my 14-year-old daughter is hanging around.
No. Actually, that like the fact that you bring that up.
This is back in 1992. There's no connectivity like that.
But still, your daughter is not there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Tour,
hold it here. Let me point this out.
But like
a lot of these girls are like single family homes, hardworking mothers, or you got a single mother. She's constantly working. She's doing this. Like the girl from the trial. Her mother didn't know none of that shit was going on. She was skipping school, going to this trial. Her mother knew nothing about her because her mother was always at work, always working, trying to do all this other stuff. So
like he preyed on a certain type of
girl. It was a certain type.
I feel exactly what you're saying.
The parents are the ones to blame, in my personal opinion.
Even then, no, I'm not taking any blame away from parents because like certain people, like if you look at the girls at the end whose parents were actually testifying that were talking.
Girl,
Dominique's mother.
Yep.
She was like, when she found out about it, she called R. Kelly and was like, if you ever, don't let me ever fucking catch you around my daughter again. But then her daughter would still sneak and go see him.
Right. So at that point, it's the level of accountability on the child.
How's that on your parent?
How do you know?
Like, you know how much stuff I did that my mother don't know I did?
You can't be there 24/7.
I understand that part. But if you're... Let's just take the ones that we saying like are locked up in a room somewhere, and
at that point,
and they have to knock on doors. You know what I mean? Your child is gone for an extended period of time.
So that's
and
like,
then they're under a certain age.
But they're 18 at this point.
I was gonna say now, once they turn 18, it's chalk.
He's
no
been
phone, no family,
there's none of that. He's been grooming you.
Give you a chance to go back and see your parents.
Yeah. So while you going back and forth while you're younger, he's grooming you.
Pretty much.
And then now you believe that he's the only one for you, and as soon as 18, that switch is gone. Because now you're an adult. Your parent has no control. They can't do nothing.
Yep.
Right.
They can't come save you.
They had the police go to the studio. They said we can't even open the door because it's just not legal. So they have to open the door. The child.
And so I feel you on the back in the day in the like 90s. What he was telling parents is, I'm gonna take your daughter on tour because I got to go on tour, but I really want to get this done for her. So she got to go with me. And so...
in my mind, I would never leave my kid on by herself with no one. No.
I feel you.
I do feel
you.
I understand that, but think about how many...
That was the thing to do.
Think about how many child stars there are.
14-year-old just go.
Think about how many child stars there are.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at some point, like, the parents are insane. I cannot imagine leaving my daughter nowhere.
When I say think about how many child stars there are, I'm saying to say that it's a common practice to allow your child to pursue their dreams if you feel like they're talented and for it to be okay.
True. And I'm
so allowing your child to pursue their dream and thinking that someone that's in the industry that makes...
Okay, here. I'll give you this one. The very last girl they talked about, her parents were really protective in the situation, but once she turned 18, they had no control over the situation.
That's okay. After you 18,
because they were there.
They were there
the entire time.
One parent would be there, or someone from their family would always be there.
The only time that they weren't there is when they said that they would have a female representative from the label.
From the label.
And
her sister went out there.
During that time, she was still in communication with them. But it's like literally as soon as she turned 18, stopped responding.
Last time they saw her was after her graduation.
Well, we can't do nothing. Like you said, we can't really do nothing about anybody that's over 18. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Understand, but before a certain age, like how we're saying, like, super young, like now we at the legal age where it's like, okay, you can do anything. But anything under that is, I thought, was the main focus. Anybody over 18, like,
but you can't capture somebody at 16, brainwash them, and then be like, well, I made it to 18 without getting in trouble, so it's cool now. How'd that work?
Like, that's the whole reason he was targeting like younger people, because by the time they were the age where they could just do what they wanted, what they wanted to do was be with him. So by the time they got to the age, it was like, all right, my parents won't let me go. My parents won't let me do this. Well, I'm grown now. I do what the hell I want to do, and I'm going to be with him.
Right. So the few parents that we said were responsible in this situation, which I think was like maybe two.
Well, let me explain. Because, like I said before, he was going after parents whose children wanted to be stars. Mm-hmm. And back in the early 90s,
that was the thing.
It's not necessarily as harsh of a world as it is today. So you're not looking at things through the same lens that we view things. So you're probably more apt to be like, it might be cool, and she probably going to be able to pursue her dream. But that's not what reality turned into. He was doing some wild shit. But then this sex tape came out, and so people wasn't really sending their kids with him. And so then what he started doing is targeting girls that were 17. Mm-hmm. Because I can intermingle with you, get you all caught up, and as soon as you're 18, you in my world, and no one can do anything about it.
True. Yeah. But like I said, the parents seem a little odd to me there, that no one's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if my daughter, I get it, if you're trying to pursue something.
What I found out is all this stuff has been, he's had hella cases.
I'm not saying that R. Kelly is not disgusting.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm saying that he's had hella cases, and like,
they settled.
Like, people have been saying things about this, but realistically, no one's been giving a fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, same. I mean, I guess that's par for the course when you got to deal with that much money and that much power and all that stuff. People just literally would turn
It's like all the like a lot of the cases they were talking about was shit that never hit public eye. Like the shit in Florida.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why is this such news now? Like, where did this all come from? Either he masterminded it behind for himself or something that's coming out.
I feel like what I feel like happened.
It was that sex cult.
Yeah, it was that whole situation that dragged all this back into the light. And then
2016.
In 2016, this woman named Jocelyn, this girl. Mm-hmm. They said that her parents said that she was in a sex cult from R. Kelly, went on the media. Mm-hmm. And so that brought up all the, like, sex allegations, and then TMZ caught wind of it, and then she did this really awkward video that went viral saying, I'm okay, I'm fine. But, like, there was clearly, like, a shadowy figure in the back.
A gun behind her.
Like,
say it.
Making her, like, say shit. Much. It was really awkward and weird. But, like, she's not seeing her family. Refuses to interact with them. Keeps saying, I don't want to interact with them. Oh, nothing's wrong. I just don't want to see them.
All right.
But why? And so that's what brought everything back into the light. And so then, since it got brought back up, and now it's #MeToo is really predominant. That's what's.
It was like it was just.
It was like a perfect storm now
that it got brought up, with everything happening with women's rights and women fighting back against everything that they have to deal with. This being dragged into light right now.
Then women being in power in positions to, like, actually produce specials like this.
Mm-hmm. So
because it's
that's why it
Dream something. I can't remember what her full name is, but it's Dream something as the person put it on. That shit was, I don't.
Hopefully.
Because I mean, like, if you think about it, like, a lot of the stuff that's behind the Me Too right now is pulling out a whole bunch of stuff that people have been doing for years and no one ever talked about. And that's kind of like the purpose. I'm not going to say that's the full purpose behind the movement, but that's part of it, to speak out against the people that have been doing the abusing or even, like, harassing and all that whatnot that's been getting away from it and getting away with it for years. So all this is getting dragged back into the light, and if it was something you was doing, you're probably gonna get dragged out with it also.
That's the whole problem with the whole Me Too thing. It's like anybody can say anything.
Yes,
that's true. This is not saying that, whatever if it really happened, but now I got to think about my brothers and my fathers and whatever mistakes or fucked up things they have done, or if true or not true. Mm-hmm. Even if you accuse somebody nowadays, it's like, you fucking did it, and that's it. And everybody get canceled because this one chick said that you did this 15 years ago. It's like,
and, like, I understand how you feel. I get that whole situation because, like, Michael Jackson was brought up in this conversation also because it was like Michael Jackson also got acquitted for his situation.
Right.
But the difference between R. Kelly and Michael Jackson was R. Kelly had you have proof of the things he's been doing.
Right.
Like, it's actually out there. No one could ever prove,
that
or
Michael.
No one had to prove that Michael's actually
that they
doing
lied
shit.
about.
Yeah, and then people came
Michael
out.
Did.
Yeah,
all these families are like, no, this really happened. We lied about saying that it didn't. Y'all don't get that? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I'm just drawing a comparison to make it, you know.
How you feel, though, where it's crazy, because, like, I listened to the Joe Budden podcast, and this episode, he was like, wait, salty because of the episode previously, he spoke about R. Kelly or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he had 2 domestic violence charges brought up because they were in his past. Yeah.
Okay.
Both were dismissed. And the women basically said it didn't really happen. They were upset and were trying to hurt each other. And so both cases were dismissed. But people are like, how can you speak out against R. Kelly and you got this? How can you, like, be upset? And it's like, so can we not be allies because we had a past? So do you want us to, like, change and then become allies of y'all? Or do y'all just want to shit on us and then, like, divide the line in the sand?
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with people changing their ways. Mm-hmm. That ain't something that R. Kelly's trying to do, though.
Yeah, that's what I think.
He's
like,
not doing nothing but
like
transforming to where he's like, well,
he just evolving.
She's 17 and turning to 18. Well, I can't really get in trouble because, like, you know, like, that's what he's on.
Yeah, he's on some fuck shit.
Like, you know, I hope that somebody finds those tapes, though.
Yeah.
Like, I hope somebody.
You know what's crazy? The shit that
he has a problem.
I figured out
a lot.
Allegedly,
he records a lot.
Every sex act that he did, he recorded.
A lot.
I found out that they did find this shit in Florida.
Yeah.
They found sex tapes in Florida, but the reason that shit didn't come out is because they illegally searched.
Right.
And so all of it's not useful.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a child porn.
That's what I was talking about when I was saying stuff that happened in Florida earlier. Yeah, but it's just he's been caught multiple times in situations. Just like with that Florida situation, they didn't do it the right way, so he got away with it. Mm-hmm.
That and money.
Yeah, and
I was about to say he got Chicago PD like on a
a little like let me know what's up with you.
Yeah,
and he lost that studio in Chicago now too.
He lost it now.
It's gone.
I mean that's good.
Hope he lose all his shit though.
Me too.
You've been on top too long, doing too wrong. Oh, I'm about to become a rapper, y'all.
How do y'all feel about movements having so much power to like cancel people?
I don't like
I mean, I feel like I don't have an issue with it as long as you're not
malicious.
Yeah, like it's fine. I believe like you should have the support because without the support, people are going to do what the fuck they want, and it's going to continue to go on. But at the same time, like you said, don't be malicious about it. Don't like get out of hand with it, and where you're just Xing out every single person for for ignorant stuff. Like things that even I don't want it to turn into a witch hunt, essentially.
Right.
But that's what it turned into.
For situations like this.
Like, yes,
because it's clear that this is happening.
But I'm saying all right, for like things like sexual abuse or you know, things aren't along those lines. But it just seems like everybody is so sensitive. I can't say anything without people just getting so mad and just going on Twitter.
People are sensitive these days. Though.
Just
that's
so. Oh my god.
Are you gonna follow through on your vow for this year?
What's your vow?
I don't remember.
Not to be PC.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that. I'm not PC this year. But
yeah, that's what he told me. He's like, I'm not being PC at all this year. I was like, all right, you got it.
No, see, that's the thing.
I'm so tired of the word people of color. I hate POC. I really do not like that term whatsoever. If I have to hear POC on POCs, it made it sound like something in the army. Like, I don't know. It just made it sound like items for people to harp on.
That's why, for the exact reason you said, that's why that whole thing came about me not being PC. Because, I do feel like people have gotten
bless you
softer and, more sensitive.
Yeah.
And then Twitter just made it so amplified where it's
social media, period.
I can tell you every little goofy ass thought in my brain and my like will validate my goofy ass thought. So then that way I can just keep writing stupid things over and over and over again. And I'm just so fucking offended. How could you say that? Oh my God. I'm so tired. I cannot. It's so saturated. Like even the news, it seems like the news has run out of news. So now Twitter is now the new news. Like anybody, he said this on Twitter last night. How is this news, Andrew Cooper? And whatever his name is. How is this news? And how is everybody just so
It's news because Twitter moves faster than
anything,
television.
Anything.
But
Twitter is like the water cooler of the
like,
world.
You know.
No, but
Twitter's like
the water cooler of the world. You know how when you're at the office, y'all just go to the water cooler, y'all just sit around and gossip. That's what Twitter is.
Fucking bird straight in its face. If I had a Twitter bird, I hope they shoot it straight in the face.
Twitter.
I don't even have a Twitter.
I can't stand it. It's just I don't want to hear everybody's opinions. I don't care.
Yeah, I understand.
Everybody don't have them, but
and that just gave everybody the ammunition to like just say whatever dumb thing is in their mind, like a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. And to come back to what you were saying about the whole situation with movements and we were talking about movements. Yes, I do believe, like I said, I don't want it to turn into a witch hunt, and it does have the potential to do so because you do have people out there in which, I can get this quick dollar real quick saying this happened and that happened.
Right.
And with the whole Bill Cosby situation, I believe a lot of those women, that was the situation.
Right.
Like, this might have really happened to you. This might have actually really happened to you and you. But the vast majority of them were probably just trying to get in there to get a quick dollar. But, like, just because of the situation and how touchy it is, you can't, like, that's why all the stories don't get dismissed and they all get added in, because at the end of the day, for that exact reason, you don't truly know who's really telling the truth and who's lying. Right. So you have to just take it all as it is, because you could be like, oh, she's lying, but she's actually the one telling the truth, and you take the story from the person that just bullshitted.
True. And then the same thing could be said for R. Kelly. I don't know how many of these little motherfuckers lying. I just don't.
I don't be dead serious though. All them girls on that tape, they all had the same exact story.
Yeah, Bill Cosby's victims or whoever they did too.
Like, I don't know. I think
he
start off cool. Then he want me to call him daddy, and then
well, see,
I gotta call him daddy all the time. Then I gotta ask for food. I gotta ask the pee. Like,
yeah, like everybody, and it's like in different years, like of them not knowing each other.
Bill Cosby had them in different years. I don't know if bitches know.
No, Bill Cosby. My thing is like, I'm not caping for Bill Cosby, and I don't feel no type of way about him being in prison. I don't really care.
Agreed.
Right.
I just think that I don't know how much of it was him being fucked up, because if you going over to party with a nigga and pop pills and kick it, do y'all generally not know what's going on or what's up?
So, all right. So the girls that hang out with R. Kelly beforehand, do you think they knew R. Kelly was like, oh, this dude like young women? You know what I'm saying? You his age. Did they know beforehand? Before they go chill with him?
The girls in the earlier stages, I don't think they knew that.
But now it's like,
they knew that.
Well, but now we know now.
That was what, 19 when she met him?
Yeah, all the older ones, they be like,
here's my thing, like, I'm not,
women now.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not
but you can't say that because they're children, and those were adults.
But like Dave Chappelle said, how old is 14 really? You know what
old
I'm saying?
Enough not to be able to fully form a functioning thought and it be rational. Old enough not to, deny your impulses. That's how old it is, really. So yeah, it's a cool joke, but really, you probably shouldn't fuck a 14-year-old.
Right. It did in my mind, you can't rationalize. You could meet a 14-year-old who acts like she's fucking 45.
Like, I don't think there's any comparison between R. Kelly and
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, no.
Because at the end of the day,
like, they're both predators.
You're still fucking 14.
And I can get that, but like the level of like destruction that you're looking to cause is different. Like, Bill Cosby was fucking and moving. R. Kelly is fucking trapping you, destroying your life. You're not gonna talk to your family. You're not gonna speak to nobody. You gonna shit in this bucket. You gonna starve for a couple of days.
You gonna get pissed on.
You gonna get beat. I'm gonna smack you up. And then when I decide that you can eat again, you can eat. Like, so yeah, no, I don't think that they're the same level of like fucked up. And so not to like try and put levels to like fucked up behavior.
I mean, fucked up behavior,
but like,
fucked up behavior, but like,
I definitely look at pedophiles much worse than I look at, people who abuse other adults.
Right.
Yeah, because
it's like one person is taking over innocence.
Of a situation. They're taking advantage of like naivety, and Just like
niggas is
a young
gullible.
mind.
You gonna believe the dream. Like, even if he just telling you sweet shit, you gonna believe it because you don't know nobody. You don't got no life experience to know that this nigga is saying some bullshit that 90 other niggas is about to tell you.
Mm-hmm. That's
Especially
the first
like,
nigga that done told you some shit.
Yeah,
too,
he the first nigga, and he's probably telling you some of the best shit, and probably can make a lot of it happen.
Yep.
And probably made a lot of it happen. To be honest, like
it wasn't shit to him at the time.
Yeah.
He was thriving back then for real.
Mm-hmm. Like you, like, oh, I'm gonna make you a star, take care of you, I'll buy this for you, buy that for you, get you this, and that. He's R. Kelly. Why would you ever doubt that he could?
That's funny we got back to R. Kelly, because I was definitely just trying to move on.
I'm sorry. I just really rolled back around.
No, but how y'all feel about Kevin Hart?
What's
up with Kevin Hart?
Right.
The whole okay. See, I wanted to make this comparison.
I'm like, wait a minute.
If I would have
so y'all don't know
Kevin Hart was in here in this whole situation, I would have made the comparison
Perfect.
I was gonna make earlier.
No, I didn't. So I'm coming up with the topics offhand because you didn't watch R. Kelly. So I was just
you
gonna
just
make.
had to look with a 45 great discussion.
With a 45 great discussion.
45 minutes of just got in there.
Just got in there. But no, so y'all heard about him not hosting the Oscars potentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really give a fuck about the Oscars, so no.
I don't really give a fuck about Kevin Hart. I don't
really care about Kevin Hart that much either. I don't think
he's that funny anymore. Like, all right, dude, you short and you scary.
Okay, so basically he wasn't supposed to host the Oscars. Well, he was supposed to host the Oscars this year. Then they found some homophobic tweets on his Twitter and shit like that.
At it again.
And so, you know.
They go like way back? Like back
2012. I think it was the earliest.
What did he say? Corny.
It was jokes like if he see his son playing with a doll, he gonna hit him upside the head with the dollhouse or some shit like that.
I'm sorry, that shit is funny as fuck. Are people offended by that?
So
see what I'm saying?
Back then, no one was offended by it.
Like,
but in the times that we're in now, everyone was PC, so it's a thing. So like, yeah, that's why I was gonna bring the comparison up because it's like.
So the LGBTQ community is offended it.
First of all,
I'm
not offended. No,
just so y'all know, she does count when she says I'm not offended. Yeah. Because I feel like you said I'm not offended, and just like there was no context to that.
Clarify.
And that thing right there,
that
the
I'm
point,
the
the
L
thing,
in that
like,
I am the L.
The
B.
LGBT community got mad at him for that whole situation because it's like, well, you're perpetuating the stereotype, or you're perpetuating the hate against younger black males.
The thing
and
about it
is,
gay men,
and
men in general.
Everybody knows that nobody wanted their child to grow up to like the same sex. That's just what it was.
It was what it's gonna be.
Now people are more open to be free and be themselves. That's just what it is today. But you can't go back on that man's Twitter because he said he gonna smack his kid upside the head with a dollhouse.
With a whole dollhouse.
If he found out that he like boys, because
and then
that might be his real reaction, but he might get over that shit today. He might have a different view on
He
that.
also did a Twitter roast of Damon Wayans saying that he looked like real F word. He was on something.
He called him a fat boy. Fag face. There
Thank
you
you
go.
for saying
He called him fag face. Fag face, fat boy. There you go.
Who did he say that about?
Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans.
Yeah.
Looks like Wayne Head.
So yeah.
Well, that was disrespectful to that man,
but he did.
Yeah.
So he decided that he wasn't gonna. So they got upset about that. Asked him to apologize. So he said he wasn't gonna apologize. Instead, he wasn't gonna host the Oscars. But then after he said he wasn't gonna host the Oscars, he apologized. And then
he's still about to host the Oscars.
But after that, he did a show with Ellen. You know,
and she's
the great white lesbian.
Yeah.
Oh, that really pissed the community off.
So now the LGBTQ, I don't know. I'm not. It's a lot of letters.
Added some more letters.
Yeah. So all of them, they upset.
All of them upset.
But like,
no,
it's only half. It's like the black
only
part of
the
them
black
are
half.
upset.
That's
why
The whites are okay with it now because Ellen was.
No. I wouldn't even say
understand.
that. It's not even that. Like, the whole community is mad at him.
And mad at Ellen.
And they're mad at Ellen also because, like,
the
black
not her place.
community are like, Ellen, you don't have any right to let him pass on this because, one, you're the least affected by any of his comments because you're a rich white woman.
Why?
I love
how
how
is
like,
anybody else,
liberals
anybody
tend
else
to say like
how
they're
is
so
anybody
unified,
poor affected by his comments, or anybody
Like,
that's just a regular
that's the
me.
thing,
I
like,
love how
they
they
say
so
his influence.
unified over there,
Yeah,
but
like-
when someone tries to
Kevin
quell
Hart's
the
influence.
situation,
Like,
they're
the
like,
whole
no,
thing,
you
the
can't
argument
do
they were
it.
having with Ellen is like Ellen. When they say Ellen's not affected by it, is Ellen is literally the furthest away from the situation. She doesn't have to deal with any of these things. She doesn't have to deal with any of that. She has money.
Okay.
She's out of the way.
Okay.
So anything that would be hate against the LGBT community wouldn't be affected by his comments at all.
Okay.
And now the black community dismissed her even further because it's like, for that exact reason, you don't have the right because, one, you're not black. You don't know the struggles that
black gay men
are dealing with and the things of the sort. So you shouldn't be able to dismiss him for that. You should hold him accountable. And like, my whole problem with that is, okay, so it's like y'all are digging, y'all pushing, like, just say you're homophobic. Like, that's the thing. It's like you're hiding the fact that you're homophobic. And it's like,
right.
Even if he was homophobic and he came out and was like, yeah, I'm homophobic, what the fuck is that going to do for him?
Then they're going to have a problem with that, though.
Yeah, and you're just want to...
Right.
The thing about it is, you can't go digging in that man's tweets from years ago. That was a different time period back then.
And then he said he changed.
I know that was only 2012, but it was a different time period for gay people, period. You can't go digging all the way back then and then try to judge now on something that he said back then. He might not have those same views.
I mean, he even apologized for it back then.
Ellen, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ellen, she being Ellen. It's not saying that she has to be the spokesperson for everybody. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. But it doesn't have to be the entire community that bandwagons on each other and then jumps on this man back because of something that he said years ago. That's dumb to me.
Now, see, the reason I was going to bring it up is that's the example of like everyone like it going out of it's spiraling out of control. Because it's like that's not something that you should harp on. That's not something you should like. He apologized for it, and then he apologized again after saying he wasn't going to apologize for it just because he's trying to get away from that backlash of people nowadays. And on top of that, he's a fucking comedian. Like, come on, people.
No, that
people
shit,
say
that
wild
shit was
comedians
funny.
say the wildest shit.
That.
Like, I don't take anything serious from a comedian. I work with one. Lawrence, shout out to you. You cussed me out last time. I can shout you out. But like he'll come up to me and say some of the wildest shit to me. But I know he's joking. I know he's playing because he's a comedian and that's what they do. I'm not taking your words seriously.
We gotta stop being so sensitive though. Like that's wild. That people
I just
are
love
really
how
that
it's like,
offended
oh,
by
love
that.
and peace, and we're the most accepting. And then when somebody tries to like, listen, I'm not. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You might have said it. I'm sure you have remorse for saying it now. Let's be friends again. And then everyone's like, no, you're too white. How you too white to get an apology on behalf of, you know what I'm saying, that community? How is that even possible?
And that's the crazy thing was because like the way they were talking about it was like Ellen's like the head or the top or like she's the one that speaks out the most.
The head lesbian in charge.
Yeah, pretty much they were said that, and that's how they were acting when they were like throwing her down. It was like, yeah, you're supposed to be up here. You were supposed to be riding for us and being on our side. And then all of a sudden he comes out and
no, they need to follow suit if that's the case. Like shit, because it's really not that deep, in my opinion. And then why are you upset about somebody's opinion? If he's a homophobic person, then that's just what he is. What are you gonna do?
Right.
Nothing. If you're gay, then that's just what you are. What are you gonna do?
And that's
Nothing.
the thing,
But
like,
be yourself. He's just gonna be himself. Maybe he doesn't want to come out and say he's homophobic. Okay, I'm not mad at that man for that. That's not gonna affect my personal life.
Right.
Shouldn't affect theirs. That don't even make. That's dumb. That's like the slowest thing I've heard.
I'm so mad.
On behalf of us,
On behalf of all of us, I am stepping up as queen of
But
the
like
gays.
with that whole situation, I think they're
into
like
the
reason they harp on him so heavy is because of his platform. It was kind of like when we were arguing about the whole Kanye thing.
Yeah.
It was like people are so mad about Kanye because Kanye's platform.
Yeah.
Like if Kanye wasn't as popular and known as he was, people probably wouldn't have gave 3 fucks about him doing what he was doing with Trump.
Because if it was you,
like if I was out here like
Tony.
doom, oh, I'm just some random ass black guy, and they
true.
might have something
that's
against
true,
it,
because
but
I felt that way. I feel that way about Kanye because of his platform.
right.
But
Like if he was,
it's
let's say it was like
that's still now that this is going on. They went back 2012.
right.
I'm just wondering who is digging through this. Like, who is just purposely like, let's look for all the fucking gay tweets and bring them out? Like, who is
like,
who's
all right,
doing
all right,
this?
look,
Like,
so TMZ is one of them. Cause like you gotta look at these media outlets. Cause when stuff like this, they're diving, they go dive back into stuff. And they're like, oh, he said this, or he said that.
Yeah, we should.
We should like make our own news.
CNN, all of them, MSNBC, Fox News, they should all burn. And I nominate you to start.
So not yourself, though.
No, I'm not about that action.
No, seriously, though. Like, the news fucking sucks, man. They're all in competition with each other, so they just put out a bunch of
Y'all
got
to see this movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. Dang, I forget the name of this movie. But he starts off as just this regular Joe Blow, like, regular criminal. Like, he just doing crazy things on the street. But then he sees this car accident, and these camera crews come and start filming. You know what I'm talking about?
That shit, yeah.
And how they gotta compete. Like, this is gonna get ratings. You got to come here. You got to do what's this? Like, they had to manipulate the whole thing just to get people to watch their channel over someone else. And the gruesome, the better. You know, the juicier, the spicier, the better.
I just like sidetracking a little bit, but like when it came to the news, it was always funny to me because I ended up watching the news that my family watched. They're like dedicated to a channel. Like my grandparents, Fox 8.
Yeah.
There was no, like, I didn't know there was news on other channels. I didn't know there was a Channel 3 news. I didn't know there was a Channel 5 news.
Yeah, and if they changed it to 19, you'd be like, nah, this isn't working for me. Turn back to 8.
Oh, yeah, let's watch it. Like, and I'll be at somebody else and they'll be like, 19 news. I'm like, what is this?
The fuck
it's
is
not,
that?
you don't
19?
watch Fox?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I low-key take what I
CBS,
said back
not
about the
FLX.
news. I do like BBC World News.
I bet you
well,
love
BBC is cool.
But all the other motherfuckers burn, baby.
I can deal with news that's not, like, centered in our country.
Yeah.
Because,
I used to think I was fancy for watching BBC News. Like, ho, mate. I know what's going on worldwide.
My cereal bowl and shit, my blunt. Like, I'm about to watch some world news.
I felt really sophisticated every time BBC came on. Like, you fucking peasants are watching Fox.
So I'm gonna be real honest with y'all.
Yeah.
I don't watch news.
No, I don't watch
nothing wrong with
either.
that. I don't watch any news I watch,
either.
but I don't have cable anymore.
growing
So
up.
No, never.
I ain't been watching shit news wise.
Never.
BBC World News was wrong.
I think I actually stopped
I'm not
watching
saying nothing wrong with it. News is boring.
the actual news when I was like
News.
13 or 14 because I started like
Once I had the choice to stop, I stopped.
It wasn't even like a choice. It's because like I got used to watching the news. Like they do like their morning things, like the morning and stuff like that. So I was cool with it. It's just like the stories they started telling. It went from like, oh, this is going on. It was kind of like the transition of Maury. No, Jerry Springer. No, it was Maury. It was Maury. Like they went from having stories that actually talked about something to nothing but bad shit all the time. Mm-hmm. Like there was no good stories. There was nothing about the community anymore. None of that. It just bullshit. Just like Maury. Like Maury used to do like pregnancy. Like they did the pregnancy test. They did like used to have like animal people come on and talk about all that stuff shit. And then it just all turned into baby daddy this, baby daddy that.
That's what the society made it. That's what we're as a society. That's what we're interested in.
And I'm like
negativity.
I don't care for this anymore.
I had an interesting theory on that because, like, I think what people harp on the most is I think people are just generally like full of angst and anger and sadness and all these emotions that we don't get caught to deal with, and then like the news, violence on TV, all this gives like that darkness a chance to express itself, and that's why I think we just harp on it so much. Like
I think that's with social media.
Like we get this thrill, like the movements, like we get this thrill to feel like we actually doing something. When in reality, like your outside world hasn't really changed that much.
I ain't doing shit but clicking the share button.
And that's just kind of crazy.
And the like button.
Because when I was like on that Black Power shit, Tony was like, "What are you doing like on Instagram?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Well, you're saying a lot of stuff, but nothing was really changing." And I had to sit back and think about that for a while. Like,
yeah, like I mean,
damn,
and that's a lot of things. Like that's a lot with this whole situation. Also, because
I just had questions.
You got like Black Power movement and stuff like that. Majority of it, like the people actually, there are people out actually in the streets stomping, doing what they need to do to push it forward. And it's like, okay, you're on social media, and you're like, all you're really doing is promoting the cause. Like you're not like, I guess that's a form of helping, but you're not actually out there
Right.
in the field protesting and doing whatever they're doing to move the things forward.
No,
I'm just saying, like, I'm just using it as an example, just like, pushing, like, actually being out there, getting things done, trying to change things.
I was like, not even with protests. I was like, because when she was doing it was like 2016.
2015.
2015.
I don't even want to talk
2015.
about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Just
Why you still keep going?
College.
Why you still talking about it?
I was just talking about me because I was talking about me and the other people that were around me. I was around just like a lot of other people that were like super into like Black Lives Matter movement and everything like that. And when I say super into it online.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like, and then they would go to protests and then they would march and things like that and they would be online. And so I'm like, but what are y'all doing for real? So you went to the protest, you held up signs, and then you marched, and then you made a Twitter status, and then
saying that I
you
marched.
blacked out your Twitter feed because it was Blackout Friday, and then y'all wore black hoodies. And then what?
And then you forgot about it.
So what's your strategy?
Moved on
like,
to the next shit.
what is the agenda? And so that's my issue. It's like, if y'all don't got no agenda, I'm not fucking with y'all.
Right.
And so that's what I would see it. A lot of no agendas and a lot of talking with no agenda. I was like, all right, so we going to do a lot of just noise making.
Pretty much.
Right. And don't nobody really want to hear that. Like, at least I was receptive enough to be like, maybe he's right. Maybe there's something. And that's why I feel like with these movements, these hashtag movements, anybody can hashtag a movement nowadays. Is like you said, like, what are you really doing in the grand scheme of things? You're just letting out a whole bunch of angst and shit that's in you, and it's a tool for that. And that's why I'm just like, I hope Twitter dies. I hope Facebook dies. Kind of hope Instagram dies, but I love me some memes.
They're not going to die because realistically, they are the new internet.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, it's never going anywhere.
All the other websites are just an extension of them now.
Right, like you have to go through those mediums first in order to get attention to
this
the
is
other
like
sites.
Internet 2.0. Like the first internet was you just going to a destination
like
site and everything like that. And then MySpace came and it became a more blog atmosphere, more connectivity. And that's when all social, because it was Black Planet, but it's always just been waves of social medias dominating and new connectivity.
You know what I think the world should do? I think like every like 1 day a week the internet should just be off.
People lose
like
their
TV,
shit.
Like
TV
just off.
What am I going to do?
Just give people a chance to communicate with each other and just like read.
No,
people don't read anymore.
Read.
No, seriously.
I know.
People don't read anymore. Like seriously, like just 1 day out of the week, it'll just be like no internet day.
No
Period.
internet day. Tuesdays?
Yeah. No internet day.
I feel like that's the most frustrating day for people.
Then I won't have to go to work on Tuesdays because we can't do shit.
I say Wednesdays.
Shit, I wouldn't have to.
No, let's
start
start some real ruckus. Fridays. Fridays. Some real chaos.
No, I'm off on Fridays. We can't do that.
She's like, I need it.
So did you say like
Work
Tuesdays
days.
or Wednesdays?
Like somewhere in the middle
I
of the
feel
week.
like those are pretty like neutral days towards any group. Everybody can appreciate a Tuesday off, just a random Tuesday.
Shit, even a Monday.
Yeah.
Who wants to do
all days?
I can appreciate any day in the middle of the goddamn week.
All days off.
Would be seriously nice. Though, I think that would be good for the world itself because people are so accustomed to getting up in the morning and checking their phone. I do it.
Right.
Get up in the morning, check your phone, check your Instagram or whatever. Get up and brush your damn teeth.
You know what's real crazy about that? I didn't start doing that until I started podcasting.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I wasn't you can ask him. I didn't have Twitter on my phone. I didn't have Instagram on my phone. I had Facebook and that was for family.
That's what my Facebook was for.
Like I didn't
once I got into promoting things too, that's when I started
That's like
doing
now
that.
I wake up.
Because I don't even get on Instagram for real. Because right now I'm not doing much on Instagram, but I got Facebook for my family.
See, and that's the thing. Like I wake up now, I'll roll over, I'll look at my phone, and like I have my personal Instagram, then I have the Instagrams for both of the podcasts. I'll look at it.
What's the Instagram for the podcast?
Conscious
Reconstruction.
Just throw that in there real quick.
Recon.
Oh, okay.
At Conscious Reconstruction, man. It's there. Instagram. Come look at us.
Got you. Okay.
But yeah, like I'll wake up and like I'll look at it. Like I'll like just drop down my phone and it'll show me, phones and you see everything, all your notifications and whatnot. And it be like, oh, Sam's Club, Conscious Reconstruction, then mine, Logical High, and I'm like, all right, I know there's stuff there. I go look at it when I feel like looking at it.
Yeah.
I know it's there. I let it sit for a second, and when I actually get to that point in the day, or like I got myself ready for the morning or whatever I'm doing, then I'll get into it and start looking at it and whatnot. I'll roll over and just check my phone. Unless it's
that's
message.
the time on your phone. Me, that's what it is. I'm like, time. I'm like, messages. Let me see what this is. Like,
yeah, like if I got messages on my phone, yeah.
There are people that are on social media because that is their, like that episode of fucking Black Mirror.
Which one?
The one, what is it called?
Bandersnatch.
Nosedive.
Oh, Nosedive. No, I don't know about that.
I like.
I'm not watching Black Mirror by myself ever again.
No, that episode, like their whole
want
world
everyone
was
to know
based
that.
off of likes. Like you just see
With
somebody
the
you
rating?
talk to them, they're like, boop, yeah, like
That shit was mad
That's
crazy.
like
She went crazy.
the world right
it's
now.
She was like a
wild,
1.3.
It's not, we're not at that point yet,
Right.
but that's people. Like people get up and do they make this shit just for likes, and it makes them. It's an ego boost for them.
It kills me though, because it'd be like those pictures of a girl roller woke up like this, but damn well,
Yeah.
your ass ain't wake up like that.
Right.
You got up,
Put
you
your
took a good
eyelashes
30
on.
minutes, took a shower, washed your ass,
A whole
you did
glitter
all
eyelash.
this
Like,
other shit, and then you go get in the bed
Lay in
and
the
make it
bed.
look like the bed was kind of like you just woke up. People don't even sleep like that. What's wrong with you?
just like, horrible.
Right, you don't wake up in a sexy
But
pose.
it's back to Black Mirror and how I won't watch that shit by myself.
Yeah, why is that?
You come out of it like, I need a blanket and I need somebody else to be there with me because I'm not the same person that I went back in with. So I need somebody else to be like, were you there too?
Okay, granted, I kind of see what
I
you were
do
saying.
not like that.
Look,
Like, by
I
myself.
understand that situation after watching like Bandersnatch. Because Bandersnatch really kind of fucked with my mind.
Which one is that?
The interactive movie they put out. You make the
on
choices.
Netflix.
See, that sounds too much for
That
me.
shit, it was
I'm
dope,
done.
though.
It was
I'm not
cool
watching
for
it
what
by
it
myself.
was,
It was dope.
but like my mind is way too open to ideas.
It's a cool
to be
concept.
watching a movie like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
'Cause when dude broke down the whole life not really mattering and all that shit, and I'm like, damn, what if he right?
See?
I'm not watching
that by
a lot. I
myself.
question
need to
everything.
ask
I'm
somebody.
a real curious person, so shit like that. Now I'm sitting here thinking like, huh?
Yeah, see, I need somebody to look over. Like, you saw that too.
I
right?
straight got to the part where they ass was like, "Shit, jump off the building. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter." I'm like,
that's
jump.
that's the part I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like, huh? What would I have done in that situation?
man.
Especially if I was like,
On acid?
Yeah.
that was.
I done ran back into the building. You got me fucked up.
But see, I can't for sure.
infinitely, you know what? It's not even about me not thinking that there's other realities.
Mm-hmm.
I love myself in this one too much to even try.
I
You got
feel
me
you.
fucked
No, I
up.
feel
No, I'm
you.
here.
And that's the thing. Like
That's what
that's the
we
reason
do.
it wouldn't happen.
They about to come see
But,
me for real.
like-
All the other ones you told, they about to jump in. They about to be here now. I'm
Like
the one.
for me, from a personal account, looking at the situation, if I was in his shoes and I popped acid, like one, I have a extreme scared of heights.
Me too.
Really? Like, you can't even,
Well, not extreme. But
can't even stand on that couch. And be like,
Yeah, I
"Oh,
can.
no."
It's really weird. Like I can get on roller coasters,
oh no.
but roller coasters
Uh-uh.
fuck me up for real. So like I don't like that weightless feeling. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Shit
That-
on me, and I don't
People
like
be
going
like,
upside down.
oh,
either.
that
I
stomach
feel like I'm
feeling,
too
I
tall
live
to go
for
upside
that.
down.
I'm like,
I don't like roller coasters.
But yeah, like that whole situation, I don't know what I would have done just because of how I am. I don't know how I react off a hallucinogen or something like the sort. And like I said, I have a really open mind. So I don't know how that would have happened, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have got anywhere close to that banister because my fear would have still struck through. Like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I get weird. I could be like in that same situation and be perfectly sober. I will still creep to the edge of that banister. I'll put my hand over there and I'll walk to it slowly. I'll look over it, then I'll step back.
I look over. That's when I would come to reality. Like, bitch.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
that's a show idea. We should all do
And then
LSD.
if I would have
and
watched that nigga
record.
jump out the window, oh, bro, it's over with. I probably would hit the floor and just
I
roll
don't
away.
wanna- I don't
Tony,
wanna
let
do
Tony
LSD.
heard it, don't you?
You don't want to do LSD?
Come on, let's do
I'm
LSD
not
and
really
record.
interested in acid.
I am.
No, I'm
I
scared.
would
I'm
try
scared
it
to
in a
have
controlled
psychedelic.
environment.
Like, I can't do a psychedelic.
As well as
See,
mushrooms.
All right, let's do shrooms and do
I've
the
done
contrast.
shrooms before, but I
Yeah,
haven't.
let's do it and do the cast. Yeah.
Oh, y'all
We'll be
crazy.
woo.
No. Because if I've done shrooms before, but I haven't taken enough for them to give me the like
That
hella
effect,
psychedelic
yeah.
effect.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was I just got the like real high energy and restlessness from it.
Oh, okay.
But like I couldn't imagine being that far into like being like in a psychedelic type drug or sense, because realistically I'd probably be in a corner somewhere.
You know
And
what?
it's not like
But what if we all
That's 100 though. 'cause
like had like one earbud in, all listening to the same music, create the same playlist, and then we just talk.
Oh man, I'm about to throw up from excitement.
that still wouldn't work for me. And the reason it wouldn't work for me is because I'm sitting here having a full blown conversation with y'all right now, thinking about 6 other things.
Well, let's just
So,
do weed.
don't
Let's just
gotta
do
be-
weed, guys, because I'm cool. I'm cool with weed at this moment. You know, with the music. You know, weed with the music. I can do that.
I don't think my
on the
mental can
podcast.
handle it in a.
See, I don't think we should do like a structured podcast that day. I just think we should record and have microphones.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
I'm for it. With the playlist.
I don't know.
With the playlist.
Yeah, with the play. We should call them like, they could be like experiments. Little experiments. We do like 30-minute shows that we throw on.
Yeah, call them experiments. Yeah.
Prototype.
That's fine. Hey,
Yeah, because that could be
I'll-
a conscious reconstruction. That's explore
exactly
our minds.
what it is.
I will
we doing
agree
that.
with it.
We doing
Let's bring
that.
back some old drugs like speed.
What?
No.
What is up with you?
No.
What? What is over there, grandma? I want to do speed.
What's
Oh,
that other
slow
stuff? What's that other
Quaaludes.
Oh yeah, Papa Quaaludes.
Let's do some Quaaludes, guys.
What's that stuff? Not they called it wet. What's that stuff called?
No.
No, I'm just saying no.
I was saying,
That's
like,
water?
No, water something,
We're
like
not doing
something-
that. That is no.
Let's just bring back
That's
some old
embalming
school
fluid.
drugs.
Yeah, I don't want that.
No, I
Something.
seen
That's
somebody
embalming
do that
fluid.
shit before.
I just hadn't heard about it in a while, so I figured.
No.
Fucking PCP. All right, I'm
We're not gonna bring anything
Yeah.
back.
She started saying stuff. I was about to say, damn, let me.
Fuck it,
run
why
my mind
not?
for all these old drugs real quick.
Everybody talking about
Marijuana.
throwback Thursday,
Marijuana.
Exactly.
PCP.
I'm with Alicia here. Y'all niggas is tripping. I'm going back to where Alicia was at with marijuana. You niggas is just
Oh,
went
yeah, I'm
too
right
off.
there with you.
Nah, you just said PCP. I'm going with you too. Going both of y'all.
I wasn't gonna do PCP.
Yeah,
I was just
I
throwing
know.
He
out
was
old
doing
drugs.
suggestions
We
that
were
he,
talking about old drugs,
you know,
right?
he
No,
wanted to try some PCP.
We was not talking about old drugs.
I think that's what I was talking about.
You
PCP.
and Zero was talking about old drugs. Me and Alicia was trying to have a good time, just get high.
Expand your mind.
Marijuana.
I'm not
Expand
with
your
the
minds.
whole doing of the drugs. I was just naming off old drugs. I'm not about to do PCP. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You know, we can definitely make that
PCP.
happen though.
I'm not doing Quaaludes. I'm not doing
We gotta put
roofies.
together
I'm
like
not doing
a
none of that shit. You got me
banging-ass
fucked up.
playlist.
Roofies. Damn.
Whoa.
Roofalin. He said it. I'm not
No,
saying.
y'all be out
I
here Bill
damn sure don't want to
Cosby
be on
What's
the
happening
roof.
over there with y'all? Me and Alicia
Y'all
over here
obviously
talking
not
about
listening to the conversation.
No,
so.
me and Alicia talking about having a great time, just smoking weed, listening to music.
And what I said
But that's
And
more
what
the
y'all are
same.
doing.
I was just like,
And
what's
what
different?
I said was, if you were listening, I'm not doing PCP. The fuck is wrong with you? I'm not doing Quaaludes. I'm not doing roofies. I'm not doing any of that
So why
shit.
did y'all?
He just mentioned roofies. I'm like, oh, roofies.
see y'all just started going through. See why you start naming the other drugs that you're not gonna do? Let's just talk about weed. Stop naming the other drugs.
Because nigga,
We
you
just-
hopped into the conversation like, oh, we just talking about this, and that. You try to throw me in a situation like I'm over here smoking old drugs. No, nigga, I was correcting myself and I was
You a drug
fixing the
addict.
situation that you threw out
You
here.
sound like a drug addict until
No.
you are a drug addict.
Oh my god.
No. I was fixing the situation.
What
Did
did
you
I
zone the
do?
fuck out of the
You-
conversation
No,
and
I
hop
didn't.
back in? Yeah,
I
you
was trying to
did.
tell
All right,
Alicia.
You
all
did.
right, all
Because
right.
if that was the case, you wouldn't have questioned me what I was talking about because you would have heard what I said and that wouldn't have been this whole conversation. We could have moved on with the marijuana and this wouldn't be a
But I was
conversation.
talking to Alicia,
Yeesh.
so I didn't have.
But you're talking to everyone. I don't, you're like, oh, I was talking to Alicia, nigga. We all right here.
But so you didn't hear her talking?
No, I didn't.
So
'Cause
do-
I was
I do
talking.
talk pretty
so,
quietly
so you
though.
wasn't in the conversation.
that
That was
much.
it.
But you were in our conversation.
I wasn't. I
yes, you
heard
were.
her say
You dipped
roofie.
in and dipped back out. You just said you dipped in and dipped out.
I dipped
I
into her
support the weed
roofie.
now. So-
I heard
all right.
roofie
Okay.
because you a drug addict.
All right. I'll be a druggie.
Yeah,
Non-PC. Fuck y'all.
goddamn drug addict.
Hashtag
Yep.
triggered. That's crazy.
Druggie, send me all the drugs. I'm just gonna sell them.
All the smoke. Only the marijuana smoke though. I had a conversation the other day about clingy people.
Ooh,
So
the clings.
we pretty much determined that clinginess, it is a thing, but it's not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Clinginess, when you're with someone that you like and they like you, y'all are clingy to each other, but you're not clingy. You just like each other. But
Okay.
if it's somebody that you really don't like
And that's when it
and
becomes
they
an
actually
issue.
like you, they become the clingy
You're
one,
right.
but you just really don't like them.
Right, you just like,
So are they
no.
really clingy?
Well,
or
some people are actually just like that in
people.
general. But like, okay, I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. It's like they're not really clingy, but they seem clingy to you because you don't.
Because
really
you don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
On the level that you know.
But then again, you gotta kind of commend clingy people because they pass their ego to the point where it's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm clinging. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They just like, I want you, I want you all the time. And then like people are so afraid to like express how they truly feel and what's in their heart. I gotta commend clingy people. Be like, you doing it? You know what I'm saying? You definitely doing it.
I'm like, here's my thing. I don't have a problem with someone being clingy, as long as your clinginess doesn't get to a point in which I can't do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be in a situation that actually wasn't a situation, but I don't like being in a situation where it's like, oh,
what you doing? Where you going?
Yeah, like, what you doing? Where you going? Like, okay, fine. You want to know where I'm going? I tell you where I'm going. But
bring me.
When, like, I'm like,
no,
all right,
not bring me. I want you to stay here. And
yeah, I don't want
it.
you to go. I want you to stay here with me. What the fuck you mean?
Oh, man.
This is business. I'm doing business. What the? No. I don't want any of that. Get out of my face. Like,
I bet you sounded so upsetting.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm actually out here doing things. Like, okay, I'll explain how the situation was. The girl would get mad at me because I would leave to go record. Or I would leave to go kick it. And, like, when I'm kicking it, like, if me and Tony are kicking it, we're working. Mm-hmm. So she'd be like, oh, why can't you just stay at the house? Don't do that. Stay at the house with me. For what? You ain't doing shit but sleeping. You ain't even doing nothing. And then I stay in the house and you go to fuck to sleep. Man, I would kick you in the back of your fucking head, bitch. I swear to God.
At least
I
I know
been out
work all the
Right
time.
in the
I
back.
was at work working on my own stuff 24/7. That's all I do is work.
Right.
So I'm
it's
watching
like,
something.
all the time.
I'm writing.
All the
That
time.
got me fucked up.
And like, you so insecure
That's why I
to
hate
the
this
point
job
that
because I can't work.
you can't
Man, this
let me
fucking
go
job.
out and do
My
stuff.
notebook filled with shit about
I feel
other
like I gotta
people.
be up under you
Fuck.
constantly
Man,
all the
this
time. That's
fucking
crazy.
job.
That's fucking crazy. Nah, fuck that. I wish you was actually had this on video because I'm wilding over here.
Big Wallin. This one is for the road. The road.
Yeah.
What did I say? The ride or the road?
I don't know the road.
It's for the road.
feel
Yeah,
like-
you said it for the road.
It's for the road because they can't see. They
I
could
feel
be looking
like,
at the fucking road. Anyways,
I need my chick to be clingy.
you need your chick to be
Yeah.
clingy.
Of course you do.
I need my chick to be clingy. Only because
Really?
I'm
Why?
clingy to her.
Like I said, I don't
Like,
mind
cause
being
I
clingy.
really
just can't do
like
that
my chick to be
over
around
clingy
me
shit.
all the time. Like, for
So
real,
you're
like,
clingy too.
whatever.
It
I don't
doesn't
even care about that.
It
That's
doesn't
not what
count
we was
if they
talking
like
about.
each other.
You're like,
It's not
So it
clingy.
don't count.
No,
They
you need to
just
be.
vibe. It's
you
a
can call me
vibe.
clingy, but we're not talking about me. What I said is I need my chick to be clingy, and then you started talking about me. I don't know how we got to me.
You start talking. I don't know.
No, but you started. But I was talking about my preferences, and you started talking about what I was.
I was like,
That's-
oh, of course you do.
yeah,
Yeah, of course
It's
you
not
do.
clingy if you like her.
yeah. Like I just, not just in general. Like I need my chick to like always want to be around me.
Like, does she
because,
just like be in your lap like a cat?
what? No.
Meow.
Like realistically, I need you to be in the same room with me. We don't gotta be talking.
Really?
You could be doing
In
your.
the same room, not even just the same house.
We could be in the same house. Like, if,
All right.
yeah, we
I
could be in
was
the
about to
same house.
like, Tony, like, come on.
No, not the same room.
My nigga, like, what's going on, man?
Like,
What's going on?
no. So we could be in the same house or whatever,
Okay.
and it's good. You don't even gotta be interacting with me, but like,
Do
I
you
don't
have
really-
to see her? Like,
I don't
I'm
really
out
want
on
you to live in a
bitch.
different house.
No, I feel you on that though.
I feel like that's a different situation.
I prefer to live together.
Makes sense.
Like that's what I've learned over like me being in Seattle. I definitely prefer to like live with my chick.
Yeah.
Like waking up, going to bed, like that lifestyle. Like
It is.
I like that
it's
dynamic.
a vibe.
it's a whole
It is
vibe.
a vibe.
You don't live with
Even
your
though
girl
I
now,
don't live
do
with
you?
mine,
No.
but it's
No.
a vibe.
No, but it is a whole
It's a
vibe.
vibe.
I don't know. I'm pretty solitary. Like,
But I was just about to say I do like my alone time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Me too, though, because I'm a super, I'm super aloof and like quiet though too. And so
yeah,
I need.
I like my alone time.
So that's why it's like,
But
I need
like
you to be in the
my
building.
chick in my alone time.
Yeah, be in my
So,
building,
I feel you.
but don't like bother me. Let me work and write and shit
Don't
like
bother
that,
me.
and go watch
But no,
whatever
yeah.
you're watching. And you do that over
It's
there,
like,
and I'm gonna do this over
basically
here,
What you're saying is like,
and I'm gonna come harass
we
you.
can do what we do.
Coexist.
We can coexist. You can do what you do. I'm doing what I'm doing. We around each other
Mm-hmm.
though. Like we don't have to be
Always
directly
talking and
interacting
hugged up
and
and
whatnot.
shit, yeah.
It's just a common area.
But I
that
hate
you're
if my
here.
chick is always on the phone interacting with other people.
I don't. Well,
with me, it comes to who you're
it
interacting
might be
with.
because I really
Right.
don't care to talk on the phone that much, but I don't like when people are always on the phone.
Yeah, me neither. Like that's
not
just,
always. Like
Now,
talk
are
to
you
your
talking
friends
about,
and
like,
but not always.
constantly around you on the phone?
Yeah, like around me on the phone.
Yeah,
That's
no,
irritating.
I can't do that. Like, if we're supposed to be spending time together, you get your ass off that phone. Unless you're talking to, like, somebody important or you talking to family about something going on. Like,
we talking together.
Yeah, like-
Put them on speaker.
It's a we thing. And
yeah, like,
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like,
I
why is you
don't-
on your phone? What are you doing?
Outside of
And
that,
then
like,
you don't even gotta be
what you
doing anything that you shouldn't be doing. It's just like, I want all your attention, and so now I'm sad that you're on your phone. And the way that I lash out, you sad as me. What are you doing? Who you texting? And I don't give a fuck who you texting. It's already the wrong answer.
My grandmother, she's dying. I don't give a fuck. Look at me in the eyes when I talk to you.
Your grandma don't know how to text.
Right? Old ass bitch.
She done been called you.
Hell nah.
She ain't trying to have this long ass conversation over text when she dying. She ain't got the time.
texting.
Hell
Fuck
nah.
But no.
Word every 2 minutes.
Right.
But no, that'd be
Hi,
fine. But no, this.
sweetie.
But yeah, if we spending time together, I definitely want like all your attention.
Yeah, no.
That's
I
understandable.
mean, yeah, if you mind, then hell yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm there for.
yeah.
Your
Right.
attention.
Yep.
And you're here for my attention.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
I
what we
agree on
do.
that side. I'm an attention whore. I ain't even gonna lie about it.
That is.
I'm a
my-
huge
My
attention whore.
significant other, yeah.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Seeing how I am,
I
like,
need
I'm
all the attention.
But like, and that's where my shiftiness comes from. Like,
You an Aries too, aren't you, Elisa?
A Sagittarius.
Oh, you're Sag. That's crazy.
like where my
The other
shiftiness
Aries
comes
in
from and whatnot. It comes
Oh,
from me being like, I guess since y'all are dragging out like zodiac signs, I say I'm Pisces. Like, I'm known to be like aloof,
It's like 5 of us.
to like wander away from situations or not. So if you don't like
It's like 5
give me
Aries in that
attention,
class.
I'm gonna go find my attention, regardless.
He said, I'm
if
going
you-
shopping.
Yeah, so
for
like
some
don't
attention.
like you can't be in a
was
situation
saying
and ignore me to a point in which I feel like I'm not getting attention because now I'm gonna go find attention and you gonna be mad because my attention might not be exactly
I
anyone
probably
that
noticed
you care
because-
for or want me around, but they give me attention, so you need to step your game up and get your life back together. If you want me to stop being aloof and come back and focus directly on you, so
It's not
Yeah.
even a. So I can't stop being aloof. That is my natural nature of being. That's who I am. Like,
well, I was talking about being aloof in like the sense of your attention. Like
Oh, no,
if you're
oh,
not if
okay.
you're not like if you're not giving me the attention or enough attention, I'm gonna go find the attention. And that's where my aloofness comes from. Like that's where it is with me in like situations or relationships. Like I feel like we're together and then your attention is starting to go or direct to someone else or it like
I can
if
feel
it
what you're
leaves
saying.
me in a too much or it goes way too much, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go find attention. Like I said, I'm an attention whore. I love the attention.
I can kind of feel where you're coming from, but it has to go on for like a little while though, because I'm still the loyalty portion of
Yeah,
it.
like I'm a very loyal person
I'ma
when it comes to
chill.
relationships.
Yeah, not saying that you ain't,
Yeah.
but you feel me though. Like I'm gonna chill for a second, and I'm gonna feel your vibe out before I be like, all right, bet.
no, I'm gonna just keep saying it. I'm real vocal as soon as I don't have the attention because I know who I am. I know that that's something that's like a requirement for like a foundational relationship for me. I immediately, once I notice that you don't necessarily give me the attention that I like it, I let you know because you might not have dealt with someone who needed the attention or might want that, or you might not necessarily be like accustomed to that. So I'm just gonna be vocal about like, hey, so you don't give me enough attention. I wanted you to know that. What's up? I feel like me and other people are on the same level. What's up? I don't like that.
See, when it comes to something like that, it's more or less for me. I'm not gonna say shit to you.
That's how.
Like
I feel.
what I'm gonna do, like,
Y'all
like,
are
this
wild.
is
Y'all are
how
wild.
it is,
Y'all are
like,
so wild. Like,
I'm
that's
not-
fucked up.
No,
Y'all
no,
just gonna
fuck
be
that.
quiet.
You
Fuck
need-
that.
like, no, fuck
just
that.
like,
Like, I'm not
no,
gonna say
no.
shit to you. We've been around each other. We've been together. You know,
you know
the,
what it is.
Like you,
You know
like
what
you
it
know what the
is.
I'm
situation
so bad
is.
at y'all. I'm so bad at y'all. Like, I'm not saying nothing to you.
No,
You know
because
I
I'm
want
not.
attention.
I'm not gonna say
No.
shit to you. You know what it is already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch you. If you continue
I get it.
on,
Exactly.
fuck that. No,
I guess
because I'm not.
for me,
I'm not for the bullshit.
it's like-
fuck that noise.
I look at it like this. I like to give people enough rope to hang themselves. So I told
That's
you that
exactly
I
what
wanted
the fuck I'm
attention.
doing.
See,
I was
well,
about to
so
say it.
y'all are saying that y'all doing it, but the way I do it is a little different, I guess. It's like I
Right.
let you know that you didn't give me enough attention, and so now if I go and do whatever the fuck I want to do, or if I just stop fucking with you, you can't say nothing. I gave you every step of the way. Be like, you was fucking up.
I will put it out there. I will let you know one time. It's only gonna be one time. But first, I'm gonna watch your actions. I'm gonna see what you're doing, and then I'm gonna let you know how I feel. And if you continue to do the same shit, I'm gonna continue to watch you. And then I'm gonna do my own shit.
I'm gonna do my own shit.
Into the abyss.
No, because I'm really gonna make sure that the decision that I'm about to make is really
what
the
it
right
is.
decision that I need to be making.
I definitely do that. Like that's why I keep saying I was like, for me it's just more so it's like, after I say it the first couple of times, I no longer.
First couple.
Well, after the first time, I don't really think that you about to change. So now it's just more so like a mental checklist for me. It's like, well, if you've done another thing, I'm about to let you know that. And so it's just like me building like a mental profile of the things. And so once I'm fully just exited, I'm just like, well, they reached that quota, I'm out. I've decided these other things that I'm doing.
Pretty much.
But hopefully you turn it around. But if not, you grown.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you know why this situation is anymore. Right, like fuck that noise.
Bullshit. I ain't got
That might have been some bullshit I put up with when I was younger.
What you need to do.
I swear, like, as I got older, I saw the change. I just watched the shit happen. One day I realized, I'm like, you know what? Fuck this bullshit. I'm not arguing with y'all. I'm not on this bullshit. I don't. I really don't.
I don't have it.
How old is everybody?
Yeah, I don't.
Is that personal?
26.
29.
Wait, am I 26?
She said, wait.
Not 29. Is it 29?
Yeah, I'm 26 though.
I turned 29 in March.
I thought he was younger than me. Fuck. You're older. You're my senior. I call you daddy now. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I apologize.
I'm not R. Kelly.
I was about to say,
how old are you?
R. Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
You only 26? What year were you born?
No, I'm 27. My birthday just passed.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad at you. Like,
I really had to think about that. I've been saying I was 26 for a whole year. The fuck?
I started saying I'm older like before my birthday.
Yeah, I guess technically I'd be like, yeah, I'm 29, but
no, my birthday
I'm not gonna think of it that way in my
December.
head until.
Yeah, I started doing that too. I started.
Hell, there were times when I
I
turned 29. How old are you? 27. Oh shit, hold on, my birthday.
for the end of 2019, so you don't got a whole year.
Oh my gosh, I have a whole fucking 11 months at least.
Oh, you right.
Shit.
You do.
Not a whole year, but 11 months.
Yeah,
you got that. You got that. You right. You right.
Yeah,
You right. I can't take that.
I get a good 3 months in, birthday hits, and I gotta adjust to the fact I'm a year older. After that, I'm good.
I'm still adjusting. I'm adjusting.
Yeah,
to
since
the
I
fact
was
that it's
born,
2019.
I'm still adjusting. Since I came out,
Since I was watching.
Yo, I'm
fresh
childish as
born,
fuck.
I'm still
still.
adjusting.
2019.
If anybody
man.
asks me, I'm 21. 21?
Oh, why did you ask us how old we were?
Yeah. Oh,
I don't
because of the
know.
relationship.
Because you said we didn't have no patience.
Yeah, something like he was like, yeah, where I'm at, I'm too old for that now. I'm like, well, how old is everybody? How does
Yeah,
it
like-
know?
Well, I didn't say that.
28?
She said that.
Yeah, like
I
when
just said I don't got no patience.
See, for me,
Yeah,
like-
I think it was he that said like, no, I'm too old for that.
Oh, I would
And-
talk to
Oh
younger.
my
I talk to younger women generally.
Generally?
Dun, dun.
Like
Daddy, look.
22 and older. Like you.
22.
Yeah, you got to be a. You got to be.
I had one person that was 22. We didn't have much to talk about because she was
You got to
more
be like
into
a
going out
college
and
graduate.
shit. See, no college.
Oh, see,
So-
no, like you have to be intelligent. Like you can't be like just your run of the mill in the club 22. That's
I mean,
not
she
where-
was cool. She was real cool.
Oh, I'm
people,
sure.
but-
I'm sure that they cool people,
You
but
wanna
like
go
no.
out? But I just had
No,
no. Yeah, we had no.
Like I'm not trying to kick it all the time and shit like
Yeah.
that. So like, I feel like if you transition from college into a career, things like that, or you're in a career, I can fuck with you.
Agreed.
Uh,
I ain't even going for nobody younger. Well, that much younger.
but see,
at
that's
this
why I have
point.
more patience because they're gonna make
Because you
more
know they
mistakes.
young.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Ah,
But so that's why I understand y'all not have patience. Cause y'all like if y'all my age, I can't have patience with you because
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Okay, well,
Like if you my age, I have no patience. Like you better get with it or get lost for real.
okay, if you bring it to that terms, yeah, I could see me being like, all right,
Because you definitely have patience, good sir.
yeah, I had all the patience.
I was like for the whole like good first portion of the show, had helly patience. I was like, this nigga was going through. I was like, I can't believe this is crazy. I have never seen him and he's still just dealing with it. All right. This ain't none of my business.
I
so
think everybody's been there before, though.
Like,
yeah, I get it. I mean, so that's why I say nothing. It ain't none of my business. That's my
Everybody
nigga. And so if we kicking it, we kicking it. We having a great time. I'm chilling over there. I'm laughing and joking with everybody. Like, I'm not saying nothing or feeling no type of way. It was just like, that's what my nigga choosing to do. So I'm with my nigga. We here now. If he chooses to do something different, then we doing something different. And until he do, we here now. Fuck it.
yeah, like, yeah, you're right. I did have a lot of patience in that situation. I also wasn't thinking about that in the way that you put it, because there was an age difference, like 5.
Y'all are speaking code right now, and
Oh, sorry. We're talking about like when I was talking about my earlier. When I was talking about my
patience, I'm like,
no. We was talking about like when I was when I referenced earlier talking about
the relationship.
myself
when I needed to be.
So the only reason I brought it up
her
is
head,
because
like, yeah, you know
y'all
what I'm saying?
the
I really did
relationship
watch
that he
your
just
growth.
mentioned.
the relationship I just like
The relationship.
Like, yeah, I saw your growth, man. You definitely.
I mean,
Oh my
I
God.
could read between the lines, but I don't know.
Anything that's happening
Only
right now.
person I know that was involved was him.
Do she know?
The other party.
Yeah, we definitely just have like.
we just started her.
A little side
Okay.
note, but
But
My
okay,
bad.
so
So
I
we
was
will give
referencing
them
the
a
relationship
show.
I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. So
Are you still in this relationship?
No. It was just the one that he was talking about where she
Yeah.
didn't want him to go nowhere for business and
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
same
that's
person.
there was a
now?
5 year.
Yeah,
5
so
year
she
age
was
difference.
younger, and so I
It's a
was
5
like,
year. That's not a big age difference, I feel.
No, but see, like
not really.
with like
It's
she.
not a big age difference. If I'm
I was
27 and
patient.
someone's
I would say my patience came
22.
because I somewhat related and understood where she came from and how her family was around her and all the other stuff. So that's where my patience came from. I understood that the situation she was in and whatnot. So I tried to be patient. I tried to be like
I'm sorry.
loose and like understanding, right? But after it came to a head in which it's not about me being understanding. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, you're going to keep this fucked up mindset. So you can keep that fucked up mindset by yourself. And I had to get up out of it. Like, I couldn't do anything for you. I couldn't, like, help you. Even when I tried to help you. Like, she was talking about going to school and whatnot, taking the test to get her RN license, right? Or not her RN, but her STNA. And, like, she was having doubts about taking the test and all that whatnot. And I'm like, go ahead. Just try it. I mean, you won't know if you don't try. If you fail, you fail.
Say you tried.
Yeah, like you tried it and then move on to something new. One day she was like, I don't want to do it. And I tried, I'm like, try it anyways. Go ahead, just push. And then like we were in the room with her mother and I'm like, yeah, like she want to stop and she don't want to do it no more. And like, that's not a good idea. She should at least try. Her mama like, well, she don't want to do it. She ain't got to do it. She probably ain't gonna pass the test anyways. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? All right, well, you're not the support system.
Right,
So I'm
clearly.
gonna try to be a support system, but it just, like I said, her mindset was the way it was, so I couldn't do shit about it.
Hey, man.
Had to leave it alone.
Relationships are always juicy. I don't know why. I
But
wanted to
in the
say
sense of not having patience anymore, like me
Yeah.
and her had this conversation when we like first met. It's like you have your friends. My patience comes from like my female friends.
What?
And like, or me not having patience anymore for the bullshit and the stuff, because it's like I'm constantly hearing all the stuff y'all doing and whatnot, and y'all doing these things. It's like I'm not talking to her, or she's like, I'm talking to this guy, he's this and that and the third, and then you like, oh, what would you do in a situation, or what should I do? And I tell you. Now I don't expect you to actually listen to what I'm saying, but I expect you to like take it into account
Right.
and like use that to fix or try to figure out your situation. But then I talk to you like maybe even a couple days later. And then you gotta be exactly on time or anything like that. And you come back and you telling me the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I had the patience to deal with it and keep going through it. But now, that's not a thing. Fuck
shit.
that. No,
Because
I'm not dealing with your
you're
shit.
supposed to now be old enough to recognize that you have to learn
Right.
from situations.
Right.
All
If you're not
situations
learning-
are lessons. If you still going through the same shit day after day,
That's the definition of fucking
Grow the
insanity.
fuck up.
All right. Doing the same shit,
Grow
trying to get a
up.
different result. Insanity. Flat out. It's crazy. Y'all hoes be crazy. Not PC. 2019.
Hashtag triggered.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Hashtag triggered.
Yeah, like, I ain't got the patience for the shit no more.
Excuse me,
Damn,
I
I don't
saw
want no
some
more
sports news
relationships.
and I had to address it with somebody. At
Okay.
least.
Hell, even talking about relationships, I ain't got the patience for that shit anymore either. Like, I'm not dealing with your shit.
You don't want a relationship, Marcus?
I didn't say that.
I don't want a relationship.
I didn't say that. I said I'm not dealing with no trash shit. Like, I ain't got time for it. Like, if I couldn't, like, if I started talking to somebody and I fell into the same situation, bitch, it's over with. There's no standing. There's no trying to make it work. There's none of that. I'm done. I'm gone. I ain't too old for this shit.
Well,
I'm not too old for understanding because you got to have some level of understanding in a relationship.
Yeah,
like,
but like I get that, but at the same time, like when I'm saying this, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, first situation or anything like that, cut it off, I'm gone, I'm out, boom, boom, boom. But it's like,
imagine you made the sound effect, boom, boom, boom. Is that you getting rid of her?
No, that's me stomping the fuck out or something, or like punching the fucking wall. I don't know. Like
I'm gone. I'm out. Woo, woo, woo.
And he disappeared into the mist.
That was him driving off.
All right, you know what? Fuck it. It's like retro. You hit boom, 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 and I'm gone. I just disappear. Oh, that's gonna be a skit. Fuck y'all. I'm turning that into something. But no, like when it comes to shit like that, like I'm not going to just like throw it out the window if I see potential in the situation. But if I see if you on straight trash and like it's something that I've came across before, or it's like an experience that I'm going against, or something that I've seen before and I know where it's going, or I even have the idea that it's going in the direction I don't want to deal with, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Because even if it does, if it doesn't go there, fine. But there's a potential that it could, and I don't want to deal with it again. Because once I get too far into shit, my emotions get locked on, and I'm a very emotional person. So once my emotions locked on everything, it's hella hard for me to just walk away from the situation. I don't want to walk away from it. I don't care to walk away from it. I'll deal with it, and it'd be bullshit.
Are you a Sagittarius too?
Nah, I'm Pisces.
Oh, okay.
I'm Pisces over
one
here.
of those.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Woo, woo, woo. That's like gonna be the new shit.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo. But no, I agree with you though. That's how I feel though.
The only reason I'm tired is I hate dating.
Shit.
I hate the investment. Like, say if you got a date. So now I got to sift through the bullshit ass people that's out here to find one that maybe possibly could be anything. And then I have to get to know you and ask all them stupid ass questions. What do you like to do on a Saturday night? I had this dude for real ask me in a message, tell me 15 things about yourself.
15.
15 things
My nigga,
about
we should
yourself.
just have a conversation.
How about
like-
just vibe together and get to know each other? What?
My question, my nigga, how many females have you talked to?
Right.
He was older. He was like 45. But I'm like, did he read that in an article? Like, you should ask
Probably.
her. I feel like he read that at like a work dissertation. Like, to get to know your clients, ask them this question. And he asked me the question. I was thoroughly like, I just really like unmatched. Like, why would you ask me that?
I can't even think of 15 things about myself at the moment.
I
that
hate,
can
like-
tell somebody.
I used to
legit
hate-
tell somebody.
Yeah, I couldn't do shit. I used to hate when they be in school, like, oh, talk about yourself. I don't know. What's your hobby? Whatever the fuck I do at the
Masturbation?
moment in time. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, whatever I'm into at the moment in time. I would always lie, be like, I
I feel
football,
like the only way that's an
Whatever.
appropriate
Art,
situation
music.
is if you're paying 21 questions.
Yeah, that's cool. That's different.
Yeah.
Because now we're playing a game. I'm not just answering
Yeah.
some
That-
random ass
no,
questions.
That 15
Process.
questions made it awkward.
Yeah, it really did. Like,
It
I was
made
like,
it
what am I,
awkward.
like, why would you ask me that? And I was just get really
Nigga,
irritated.
do you got 15 things automatically written down to just
Right, like, it
tell
would
me
have
about
took his
yourself?
time. And I felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the platform that you use on Tinder, who's looking at it like, yes, I have 15 things here, and I'm definitely going to type this out and pay attention to all of this because I really like you based upon the 5 messages we exchanged.
I mean, like, the
Fuck
closest
outta
I
here.
might get to, like, even a question like that is, like, tell me something about yourself.
No, you got to play
I
21.
hate that
21
too.
questions is
That
great.
that might be the closest
The
I
only
get to
game
that
you gotta
question.
play- the only
hate
game that
that.
is acceptable to get questions is 21 questions.
I don't even play games.
But other than that,
I'm gonna just ask you what I feel like asking you.
Realistically,
Based
I'm
upon
just
your
trying to-
answers. You made it to the next level.
but the way that I like to operate is if I like you for real or if I think I'm interested, I'm realistically trying to spend like the next 48 hours with you solid for real.
yeah.
Oh,
Just-
wow.
That's dope though.
Yeah, we about to
Just
just,
so I can
we
really
just about
vibe
to kick
out
it,
and see
vibe,
what's
and
up.
see
That's
what's
what I
up.
like though.
In
I
that
want to feel somebody
situation,
vibe.
you would
Yeah.
catch, like,
And then
it
I'm
wouldn't
just-
be just question.
Yeah.
Y'all just
Yeah.
around each other,
Yeah.
so it's just natural.
Yeah, well, so
organic
if I don't like you
conversation.
after that, you gotta go. Because you're
To
annoying.
2 days.
Yeah, because now I know your personality is
Be around your
annoying.
ass 2 days.
Yeah, I can't stand you. I can't stand
This
you.
shit.
Who brought you here? Couldn't have been me.
This shit. Woo, woo, woo. You got to go.
Is that gonna be the new thing for the podcast? Woo,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. 2019.
Wow. That's nonsense.
Oh, man. Yeah, that shit's funny. All right.
That is not fair. It's just like a whole entire thing that I'm just like exhausted from already. Like I said, even if you get to the point where you find somebody that's even a formidable opponent, like now you have to pretend for the first whatever year, like, oh no, babe, it's totally okay. Oh baby, it's totally
like
fine.
that, and that's that.
I'm so tired of pretending. Like I can't. Like
just pretend. See,
that's why.
No, y'all lying. Y'all fronting. Y'all act like y'all get in relationships and be like, yeah, bitch, I like the shit with the door open. No, you don't go in a relationship.
Whoa.
Whoa.
See, don't get me started because I just.
She like, hold on.
Just started. So y'all go in like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But see, what I'm saying is
or like, I have mommy issues. Would you like to talk about
See,
them?
my thing is like,
man.
when I go into a situation, I'm just being me in a sense. Like, I'm not trying to.
your personality. And guess what? Our personalities are built off of external things. Like, who we are on the inside are broken people.
But no, that's the thing. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, when I go into a situation, I'm just being me. You can tell just from having a, like, conversation with me.
Right.
The situation.
I get it if you're not being extra. But like I said, the things that really matter to us most, that really make us who we are, we don't go in a relationship off the bat like, yeah, you know, my dad smacked me upside the head when I was 13 and called me a chicken.
Like that,
so I'm
but
really
like,
self-conscious
something
about
like that
my
would come
ankles.
around. Like, that would just be a... All right. But like some of that sense would be like, that's just a natural conversation that would happen eventually.
Yeah,
like
eventually.
even
That's what
like
I was
but at the same time, I'm not like putting on a front for you or anything, because realistically,
me neither. I'm not like, oh yes, I totally love Chardonnay in the morning. Like, no, that's not who I am. But at the same time, you don't go in like you got to front a little bit, and that's okay. That's like that's the like kind of a.
I understand what you're saying, because like
Yeah,
a lot of that's what I was talking about
in.
like earlier. Like when it comes to like you knowing somebody, but you really don't know somebody until you're around them constantly. Like for example, living with somebody.
Investment comes in, then you make that investment for
once they
years.
like, you have to get to a point in which the person is comfortable to truly know how they are for real. Because like people, okay, I can really catch what you're saying now, because it's like a comfortability level. Like with me, you'll get outer layer, but you won't get the deep history and all that shit until I'm like, I feel like I'm comfortable enough to talk about
like
it.
That's how it should be,
but it's not.
I don't feel like I'm not open with everything, but I am an open individual if I feel like you're worthy of that.
Right.
And everybody's not worthy of that. But for me, as long as I know I kept it 100 with you, even if you played me or did some dumb shit, then that's just on you, because I was 100 the whole time.
Right.
But as far as being open to people, I feel like for me, being transparent is where I need to be for most people, because if you see that I'm transparent, hopefully that's the way that you can be. But I don't feel like I have to like be closed or like have a major guard, because I don't know. It just, at this point, I know how my feelings are. If I choose to invest my feelings, then that's on me.
Right.
You know, and choose to be open and invest that in someone, then that's on me. And I learned a lesson from that. But I mean, dating is just like dating. Shit. I don't even mind it anymore.
I don't like.
I'm very private. I like to keep.
I'm private with a lot of things. Don't get me wrong.
I'm super
likes
private.
to keep
like
a certain amount of mystery of himself.
Not even that. I'm not secretive or anything. But like I said, my natural personality is aloof. I don't really like get outwardly excited for real. Like you have to like kind of like learn my personality and learn me as a person to like notice like where I'm actually excited or happy about things or shit like that. But if you're looking like for like me to be really expressive.
I was just saying, to interject, don't you hate that shit though? Like people come to me with something and they'll be like really excited about it, and I'm just as excited as you are. It's just not going to be I'm not going to express it the same way you are.
No,
like,
yeah, that's me. That's
like,
totally
oh,
me.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
hella
me. I
happy.
definitely
Yay,
like the puppy.
yay,
Like,
yay.
did you see? Did you see? You just be like,
And I'm like,
no,
yeah, but I'm really am genuinely happy
Right.
and excited.
Just-
no,
about
I'm
it.
the
not
exact
about to do
opposite. I'm
all
like,
that.
oh my god, dude, can you
can't be like
please?
that.
I can. Like, I'm very
like,
excitable about
this
things.
is like this lady I work with, right? And like she when she like she's really energetic and all that whatnot. And every time she sees me, she's like, "Hi, Marcus." She's like really energetic, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And she's like,
Why are you always?
"Oh yeah," like she was like, "So you're not happy to see me too?" I'm like, "No, yeah, I'm happy to see you. I'm just not an outward expressingly person." So yeah. So now when I see her, just to like, it's not even like making her happy. It's more or less.
It is.
Yeah, you're right.
It is. It's what we do as people who are aloof and introverts to make the extroverts in our lives happy, aka people like you who need us to be like outwardly emoting for some reason and be like,
I'm actually pretty introverted. I just, you
Yeah,
know,
okay, yeah, you're right. Because realistically,
It's
I wouldn't do the
different.
shit any other way. Because like today, for example, I walked in and she was waving and all this other stuff, and I just kind of like looked at her and she was like, "All right, just wave," and I'm like. She's like, "Yay!" And then I just went on my way.
See, I don't know. Yeah,
No, I'm actually pretty introverted until I trust you enough to be like,
feel you.
I can be this person around you. Because I don't
You know
want to
what?
be.
I feel you on that.
Like, but I'm still like that. If I find something like online and I know I'm around a group of people that share at least the same ideas and like the same thing, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, did you fucking see this shit? I'm fucking excited." Are you? And y'all just gonna be like,
But no, sometimes like I can be like at work and do some like goofy ass shit because I'm
Yeah.
just goofy like that. But I'm still an introverted person at times.
Oh,
I'm like
yeah.
an introverted extrovert when I want to be.
Yeah,
completely
I'm definitely
understand.
finding that
You know?
extroverted part of myself. Like, I'm actually I never knew that about me. I'm pretty comfortable with. First, I thought I was just like, don't ask me any questions. But now I'm definitely like, when I'm just driving with people, like in the Ubers, like that's why I started to practice to bring out that side of me. Because I think it was Jordan Peterson that was like, if you have an issue with being social, ask questions. Just ask people questions because people love talking about themselves.
True.
That's where it started out for me. Just be like, hey, what are you doing? Like, oh, you drive for Uber, da da da. Then my curiosity would kick in. Like, oh, I drive for this or I do this during the day. Oh, do you like it? Yeah, like that. Then that's when I was like, oh, people aren't assholes
cool
as
that
much
you do
as.
that.
When it comes to me, that's it. Like I'm not about to spark any
See,
type of
I was just
anything.
about to-
with
that's
you.
what I'm like, that's cool
But
that
if
you
you
did
spark
that.
it up with me, fine, I'll talk to you. You
Yeah.
can go,
I don't-
and that's always my issue. Is like
don't even wanna
I'm
talk
walking
like
around. I'm not about to talk to you for real. You come talk to me, cool. We can talk. I'll respond and I'll have conversation with you. If you keep doing it, I'll get used to talking to you, and then
Right.
I'll do it myself. But before then, don't expect me to just be like.
Yeah,
walk
and I
up on
think
you
now
and
that
say
I'm
something.
thinking
That's not gonna
about it,
happen.
the better
That's not
word
a
is
thing.
not so much extrovert; it's just friendly. Like I'm a friendly person.
That's
that's an
me.
extrovert.
No,
No, because being friendly, like she's friendly.
I'm friendly, but
I can
I'm
talk to her.
But are you friendly to the point where you don't go and engage people, or do you engage people?
I'm
first?
not
Like
going to
engage.
engage somebody, but
but
if
she's
somebody
going to
engages
engage,
me,
right?
then I'm gonna
Yeah,
still
it was
be my
mostly
friendly
like for to challenge
personality.
myself.
But
Like,
see,
am I really
but
this?
that's extroverted. That's if you're going to engage.
Yeah.
That's the extroverted nature. Being friendly is someone coming to talk to you and you being polite and giving them conversation.
No, that's being polite. Being
No,
friendly
that's-
I would think being friendly was like, hey, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Da da da. Oh yeah, that's really cool. What'd you do this weekend?
But
That's too much.
I'm not going. I might not take it
Too
to
much
the
for you.
what you do
because what you see
I
that's
might not take
it.
it that far.
That
Yeah.
like
Definitely
for
gonna
me,
be
that
fine.
conversation would
I really
never
don't give a
happen
fuck about
unless
your
you
weekend.
started it.
Right.
So
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, like
So you guys
it
are
takes
saying
a
I'm
lot
not taking
for
the
me to
extra
spark
step
a
to get to know
conversation
you.
with
Yeah,
somebody. It's
I'm
not-
not, yeah, we're not starting the conversation.
No.
Okay.
Like,
I
but
get it.
I mean, I'll
But-
carry on a conversation if you started it. I don't mind doing that.
Oh, okay.
But I do think we should wrap this.
Yeah.
And then we probably should do the next episode about relationships since that seems where this one turned
Yeah,
into.
we got there.
Spicy relationship.
Y'all want to do like do's and don'ts of the relationship?
Woo.
Do. Don't.
And then
Woo, woo, woo.
I was gonna say, you know what you don't do? You don't hit a
Join
wall.
us
Woo, woo,
next
woo.
time on Conscious Reconstruction, where we talk about the do's and don'ts of relationships.
so that's gonna be your job from now on. Now.
No, it's
you,
not.
Yep, you already did that voice. That's
Signing, no.
You. Yep, perfect. Everybody get their hand up so we can wrap it up
Just
since she did the.
just assigning jobs.
All right.
What's the
yeah.
handle? Wait, I'm confused.
That
I've never done this before.
Twitter, your
Instagram.
Instagram or
Y'all
whatever.
first.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go first. I've been really lively today. I don't know why I got so much fucking energy. But Instagram, Logical High. Instagram, Conscious Reconstruction. I forgot which one I was doing for a second. At Conscious Reconstruction on Instagram. And you can find me on Twitter at Logical High. Logical High 90. There you go, MJ. There's so much.
I only have Instagram. So
don't look for me on Facebook. Continue. My bad.
No, you good.
Yeah.
I just had to make sure you was good. Instagram 1.000. 1.000.
You can catch me at Gideon the Gray. It's Gideon_the_Gray.
Is that real?
Yeah.
I'm about to follow you now.
She's like, what?
It's on Instagram.
It was definitely opposite of
We
what
don't
I
even
know.
follow each other.
Yeah, it's bad. Big bad. It's new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mine's a Zero Cool. ZEERO_KOOL.
I probably should tell you that I definitely stole that from you.
What?
For like years. Zero Cool.
Zero Cool.
Yeah.
That's a fucking dope ass name, ain't it?
That's one of my email addresses now.
Hey, at least you kept it 100 though.
He did.
Yeah.
I still respect you.
He didn't lie. He told you about it. You know about it now.
It's when we was doing like the writing
shit,
thing,
yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, this is hard." I'm
Let it
keeping
be.
it. So, yeah, I like.
Yeah.
She said she's not doing nothing. She focused on family. Big bet. This is me now.
Cut. So cut. Woo woo woo. Take
Yeah.
zero.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
Whoop.
Stole the
Take
handle.
the handle,
Whoop,
whoop.
whoop. Gone. Mine.
Yeah, but all right, we out of here. Follow us at Conscious Reconstruction. Fuck y'all.
Like,
Out.